What's up, my angry ginger army? How is everybody this Saturday? How are we doing? All right. It is Saturday. It's been a busy week. It's been very busy. I have an interview on Monday. I have an interview on Friday. Oh boy. We're talking about Ukraine. We're talking about COVID. We're reading books. It never stops. We've got things to do every single day. All right. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's in the chat today. Pagan Ways. What's going on, Pagan? What's up, Susie? What's happening? I know. KJ, I changed it from Georgie to Georgia. Gotta have at least one spelling mistake. It's the trailer park education. Liz, what's happening? Stan, what's going on? Stan, you're here at the start. Roxanne, what's up? Golf, you're here. That means Ojeda must not, or Sons of Liberty must not be on. Yeah. The screen looks a lot like the sleeve art in Rush's classic A Farewell to Kings album. That's not what it's from, but I mean, we could just claim that. We're always happy to just claim that. I like Rush. I like Pert. My kid's drummer. Kid's drummer should probably learn something from Pert. Kelly, what's up? Dan, what's up? 5 Alarm Fire. What's happening, 5 Alarm? Dally Oops. What's up? Bob, what's going on? Tampa in the hizzy. Nina, what's up? Mitchell, what's up? All right. Oh, man. I got on here and I was like, let's see. I always have like watch later videos where I see them during the week and I'm like, I want to talk about these things when I get on stream. But then there's always at least one video that I see when I get on that I'm like, what? And that is the Tennessee Brando video on a Georgia woman that was arrested for having a miscarriage. And I don't know what this is yet. I have not looked at it yet. So I'm going to wait to speak on that. But we said this. We said well before this. I made a video, actually. I don't remember if it was before my channel got popular or if it was recent. But in that video, I listed out multiple different ways that a woman could unintentionally or intentionally, depending on how you look at it, be held accountable for getting what would perceive to be, an abortion, but obviously would not. And this has happened before. When I was doing research for this video that I was making, I learned that it was something like, I can't remember. I don't want to say the number, but there's a lot of women that have actually been put on trial already within the last decade for these types of things. A lot of them had to do with drug use, alcohol use, but there was also some outliers as well. Not to mention, like, you can't put women on trial for having a miscarriage because drug use or alcohol. It's just, that is Pandora's box, man. That is Pandora's box right there. So, we're going to have to see what this video is about. I'm sure most of you guys already know what that video is about. But don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Brandon, yeah, that's the video we're going to watch, is the Tennessee Brando one. What's up, Brandon? What's up, Pinker Bell? Yeah, so we're going to watch a video on that. I always hope that I am wrong about these things. But it does not look like we are wrong. So we got a video on that. We got a new Titus video talking about whiskey leaks, which is probably my favorite new nickname for a Trump cabinet member. We've got the good liars talking about those whiskey leaks, text messages. And then we also, one other video that when I popped on here, I saw and I was like, what? Was apparently David Pakman just put out a video about Donald Trump monitoring people's social media. And this is a joke that we've made many times, that the number of memes that I share all the time, because I think they're funny, about Trump and Trump's cabinet members. Yeah, that's terrifying. And we've already, if you guys have watched, and I'm sure you guys have seen it in the news anyways, we already know about that Tufts University student that was approached on the street by masked supposed FBI agents or government agents. I guess they would be ICE agents, and drug off the street and sent to Louisiana. And it seems like this is where all these people are ending up. There was a French lady, a scientist, I believe, that had went over to France for some type of science convention or something, academia convention, and on her way back was detained at the airport, also sent to Louisiana as well. So that's something that needs to be monitored, obviously. So let's see what is going on with these videos, because this is bananas. It's insane. Like, I cannot believe that this is happening. And that's crazy to say, because I said a lot of this stuff would happen before, but I really did have a lot of faith in our judiciary system. I even had faith in our Congress, and I do see that some conservative Congress people are standing up and saying, specifically when it comes to Ukraine problems, that this is not acceptable. So I still have faith in those people, and I hope that, people will do the right thing. But at the same time, it is pretty fucking insane to have seen all the things with Curtis Yarvin, see all the things with Project 2025, to talk about them ad nauseum for over a year, and then see them come to fruition because certain people are just capitulating and not standing up and saying anything. And this is why it's so important that we have Bernie Sanders, AOC, Jasmine Crockett. I saw Jasmine Crockett talking about the Tesla protests that are going on, where they're trying to have a protest at every single Tesla dealership that they could find. And she said, I'm going to be loud here in Congress, but I need you to be loud on the streets. And that is the damn truth, because the only way to thwart this type of tyranny in a non-physical way is to be so loud and spread this information so far and so wide that, they hesitate to go much further. But, yeah. And I also, in that video on the young woman from Tufts University that was taken off the street, also pointed out a website that is currently up called Canary Mission. Thank you to Marcy Sunshine, who follows the channel, for sending me that email. And I had seen the Tufts video, but I didn't know about the Canary Mission website. And she had sent me an email on that. And that's what spurred that video. And as we've talked about a little bit lately, with the Red Scare and Blacklist, this is very much Blacklist type of behavior. The Canary Mission puts these people's photos, their personal information on this website, and then they'll take it down if you write a letter of apology or a video, make a video of an apology. And that is exactly what happened during the Red Scare. So, yeah, this is, it's crazy to see things be this on point with what we were talking about. Starman, what's up? Christina, what's up? Bob, did I say hi? What's up, Bob? So yeah, let's get on here. Let's take a look at some videos. Let's click some buttons, and let's see if we can do this without messing anything up. Look at us go. We're becoming professionals. Also, shout out to the community, man. Shout out to the fucking community. I saw all of you guys over there in Straight Facts No Chasers live stream. That dude needs so many more views, so many more subscribers, and I love that dude. I really do. There's so many people on here, whether it's Adam Mockler, Brian Tyler Cohen, Straight Facts No Chaser. There's so many people. You guys are constantly dropping those names. Sons of Liberty, obviously Richard Ojeda. And shout out to the community, because that's we're bringing it together. That's what we want to do. We want to see all of you guys in other people's chats, like 21st Century Suffragettes chats, and continuing to spread the word, spread information, and spread community. Because, you can't do it by yourself. You can only do this if we're all together. We can only stop what's going on today by being a cohesive unit. And shout out to you guys. It really was. It's beautiful to see, man. I was so happy to see so many of the people that I appreciate over there showing that man appreciation. He 100% fucking deserves it. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for being so fucking cool, man. That was great. So cool. So cool to see. All right. Let's see. Woo. Yeah, if you guys don't know who Straight Facts is, you should definitely check out Straight Facts. And, he said during that live stream, he said, when I was first doing this, I was doing comedy, and he was doing the, Trump translator videos. Man, humor is a good way to spread a message, and it's hard to be funny nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of shit that you can laugh at, but it ain't something that you laugh at in the same way we used to laugh at shit. It's laughing at the absurdity, laughing at the craziness. And so, his live stream was much more educational and down to earth, and it was just him talking about what people thought, the American dream was and how they thought that they could accomplish it. And that's still really important because that needs to be in people's heads. They still need to have that hope, that faith that things can get better. And he also talked a little bit about writing his own project, America, which was to do with exactly the questions that he was asking. And, big up to that man for wanting to do that. Starman, thank you for the membership. Thank you for the membership, Starman. Carmelo, congrats. Is that Carmelo Anthony? Is Carmelo Anthony out there? Is he following me? How old is Carmelo Anthony nowadays? Oh, man. My wife says I can't wear this shirt because it's got holes underneath it, so I wore the sweater. It's like one of my favorite shirts, though. It's really thin material, which is bad right now because it's actually kind of cold. Okay? But I wanted to wear this shirt. I like to wear this shirt. It's comfortable. It's very comfy. So we're wearing a sweater over it, okay? To appease the wife, all right? Yeah, Hal Sparks. Don't get stuck on top messages. Susie, spreading the truth, the goddamn truth. Don't forget, guys, to hit that button that says top chat up top, so that way you're in live chat and you don't miss all the cool people talking down there. What's happening, Rude? Texas Paul bothers me because he makes it seem like protesting isn't important. It is. He said he wants people around to vote. It's cute how he thinks we will have free, fair voting. Well, the one thing I will say about that, though, Rude, is that we all have to take up different lanes. And I don't think that we should ever be telling people that protesting isn't important. But it is okay to have a person that's more centered on getting people out on vote. Like I said before, everybody's got to fill a lane. We need people that are willing to go out and be on the street, people that have time to get out and be on the street. Some of us work multiple jobs, plus do, these side things like content creation. I mean, my day is every single day. It is from 5:30 in the morning to working out, lifting weights and stuff with my family. We've got my whole family doing it now. Starts at 5:30 in the morning. My work is, until the evening. And then as soon as I get home in the evening, I have to either edit videos, do interviews, set up podcasts, set up interviews with people. I'm usually working 12 to 16 hours a day, and I don't have a ton of time. So, I think I could sit up here and be like, oh, go out on the street and protest, and people could be like, well, where are you at? And I was like, well, if I ever find the time to do that, I will. But, other than the money that I make from you guys when you guys are super chatting or memberships or whatever, which is super dope, and I appreciate you guys, this don't pay the bills. I have a full-time job that keeps me very busy all the time, every day. And if I ever get to a point where, I can truly be an activist that gets out on the street and stuff like that, I'd fucking love to do that stuff. I don't know if it's good for the movement, as I'm a very aggressive and confrontational person. So once again, maybe it's not my lane. But I think that we gotta be careful. We gotta remember that each person does their own thing. What up, Pep Talks? Pep Talks in the house, talking about somebody that you guys should be going over and checking out their stream, and I'd love to see you guys in his stream. saying what's up and spreading the good word as well. Go over there and check out Pep Talks. I love Pep Talks. I love watching that show. What's happening, Jen? What's going on, Kay? What's up, T-Roy? Fort Worth. Fort Worth. I know a little something about Big Wings. Big Wing, Texas. That sounds like a place that should be in Texas. I know a little something about Big Springs, but maybe not so much about Fort Worth. I love to see the Texans in the house, dude. Like I said, I come from a very country place. So, yeah, economic protests and blackouts do help. 100%. 100% they do help. You won't hear me saying they won't. I just think that we need people that are getting people out to vote. We need people that are getting people out to protest. We need people creating content and pushing it on all platforms. We need people that can speak to religious people. We need people that can speak to non-religious people. We need people that can speak to young men. We need people that can speak to young women. We need people that really can just like get out and do something. And one of the things I wanted to say is that that girl Cat, we just watched that video on the Humanist Report of the girl Cat that's running for Congress, I think, in Illinois. And I've been recently reaching out to her. I had a very quick discussion with her about bringing her on the podcast. And I hope to bring her on because I think that she is kind of the embodiment of that idea of that it's not time to sit back and just let things happen and see where it goes, that it's time to get up and do something about it before it's too late. So shout out to Kat in Illinois. I can't say her last name. It's like, I keep saying Vuvuzela. I don't know if you guys know what a Vuvuzela is, but it's like her name sounds like that. No offense, Kat. But that's where I want to be, right? Like I want to try to do my part from here by supporting these people that are speaking out. So, you know, it's a big thing. Support the people around you, support the people in their message, and support people that are giving a good message that maybe you don't 100% agree with, you know, what they think is the solution, right? Like, because we still need those people. We still need to be a cohesive unit, and we still need to work with each other. All right, let's see what we got going on here. We got the Tennessee Brando video, okay? Kay knows who Kat is. Awesome. Yes, like Abu Vuvuzela. I'm gonna have to. That's one of. I got a lady coming on named Greta to talk about the Ukraine stuff, about Ukrainian history and stuff. And I can't say her last name. I've got this dude coming on a COVID, talk about all the COVID conspiracy and stuff and how it led us to where we are today. I can't say his last name. I got to work on it. I need some hooked on phonics, guys. I need some hooked on phonics shit. All right. Need somebody to tell me how to say these last names. All right. So we got Tennessee Brando. We got Titus with the Whiskey Leak Signal Chat. We got the Good Liars on the Street. Also talking about the Signal Chat. And then, like I said, we got David Pakman talking about apparently monitoring people's social media. So, yeah, it should be an interesting show. So let's get into it. Let's watch some videos. Let's give some analysis. I couldn't find Ukraine with a U and a crane on a map. Okay, look, don't make fun of the way I talk. Actually, 100% make fun of the way I talk. I got Ross. You guys will see Ross in chat every once in a while. Ross is the guy who corrects all the words that I misuse because I learn words from reading them, guys. Okay, videos and stuff. I do videos when I'm on here with you guys. All right, but most of the time I like to read. Can you tell I like to read? All right, I fucking love reading. Problem with reading is you always know a word. You know, like the context of the word, but you don't know how to say the word. You don't know how to pronounce the word. So for sure, make fun of me for that shit and also correct me. So that way my ass starts saying words the correct way, please. Illinois, I can start by removing the S. It's not Illinois, Bob. We about to turn this whole damn stream into you guys just correcting my language. We could probably just do that all day long. We could just have you guys just in chat being like, no, dude, the S. Drop the S. Like, what was it? Ross was telling me it's Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, not Peter Thiel. What the fuck is up with all these silent laters? Oh, God damn it. I deserve that. What's up with all these silent letters? You know, I remember a Cat Williams skit where he stood up there and he complained about silent letters. And he was like, what the fuck is a silent letter? He's like, look, it is Knife. That is knife, okay? It is knife. Like, you can't tell me your name is Bob, Bkob. That means your name is Bacob. I felt that shit in my soul. If I had a soul. But I feel it somewhere deep in my body, in the void. Yeah. The fucking silent letter thing just absolutely destroys me, dude. Absolutely destroys me. Yeah, I love me some Cat Williams, too. You guys know I love the comics. I was telling Straight Facts that when he said, you know, he liked to do comedy, I'm like, that's what I started. I started making videos about trying to fight The Rock, you know, like telling my kids that I could take him and stuff like that. And somehow I ended up on here fucking talking about Trump all the time and his goddamn cabinet. I want to go back to funny stuff, but we can't. I'll tell you guys what. Here's our goal. We defeat this tyranny so that way my ass can go back to doing funny shit, okay? Or at least I thought it was funny. So, all right. What up, Janelle? What's going on, Janelle? This is the video from Tennessee Brando. I don't know anything about this story. I literally just saw it when I popped on here, and we've talked about these things before. So let's take a look at it. Let's let Tennessee Brando give his take on it, and I'm going to try and give mine. All right, so this is Tennessee Brando. A Georgia woman was arrested for miscarriage.
So the story I'm going to cover today is one that's not going to be easy to talk about.
Gulf Marine.
But it is one that we warned about for a long time. I went to the trouble to print out Project 2025 and actually sit down and read it and pull out a highlight.
Okay, he printed it? You know how much money in paper and ink that is? That's an investment on Tennessee Brando's part right there.
And break it down. And I would have people say to me, yeah, it's pretty long-winded. It's pretty boring in places. And I said, yeah, it is. But there is some massive, giant red flags in there of things that these people want to do and visions that these people have for this country. And it's one of the most radical agendas that we've ever seen. And I think we need to highlight it. So I would bring different creators here on the channel. And we would talk about certain highlighted sections of it because it was so alarming. And we got accused of being hyperbolic. We got accused of trying to spread.
Now, my favorite part of that was Donald Trump saying that he had no knowledge of the Heritage Foundation or Project 2025. He literally, in 2017, tweeted, I am 60 to 70% done with the Heritage Foundation's 2017 agenda in my first year. That's a real tweet from Donald Trump. And people were like, he doesn't even know. Fucking Anna Kasparian was like, if Donald Trump says he doesn't know about Project 2025, why do we keep saying that Project 2025 is Donald Trump's agenda? And even if you looked at it, what was it? I think it was Agenda 45 is what he called his actual agenda. And even if you looked at those, like, and you paired them up next to each other, so many of the same things were in his agenda as in Project 2025 that you didn't even need to accuse him of that. You could have just accused him of his own fucking agenda. In fact, to be honest with you, we should go back at one point and take a look at his agenda, because I don't think he did any of the fucking the little shit in the agenda that didn't have anything to do with Project 2025. I don't think he's done any of his actual agenda that wasn't in the agenda that also was in Project 2025.
Hysteria. And then Donald Trump, all he had to do was come out and say, I've got nothing to do with that.
Tennessee Brando.
Well, when he said that, we showed clips here on the channel of the
hyperbolic's the
authors
word
behind Project 2025, behind closed doors. Look like something you'd see on a Godfather movie. They're behind closed doors, and they're talking about how that we know Trump has to distance himself from us. We know that he can't admit that he likes us. We know we're not popular with the American people, but we just got to get him over the finish line. And when we get him over that finish line, he'll do everything we say. And we tried to point out, no, look, he does have something to do with it. He clearly is behind it. They're saying it. They're saying that it's okay for him to bash them. So we tried really hard.
The one thing you do have to admit, though, is that Donald Trump didn't read it. He didn't read it. JD Vance read it. And we've said this before. Really, as far as Project 2025 goes, it's about getting the foot in the door. That's what Project 2025 was. And when Elon came through the door and decided that he also wanted to, start instituting the RAGE, reduce all government employees, from Curtis Yarvin and Peter Thiel, it kind of threw a little bit of a wrench, I think, in their plans. But I think that what the techno oligarchs want and what Project 2025 wants is pretty close. It's close enough that they'll work together. And then there's probably going to be some sort of rift between the techno bros and the Project 2025 people. And there's probably going to be a bit of a power struggle. And once again, Donald Trump's not going to be a part of this. One of the things I saw people saying was like, how could Donald Trump not know about the Signal chats? And like, Donald Trump isn't the president. Donald Trump is spending his time golfing. Donald Trump is spending his time going to the Super Bowl, going to Daytona, signing out over 100 executive orders in the first fucking 2 months of his presidency. Do you guys remember when we literally had MAGA Republicans in here saying, isn't it crazy that Biden had written 50 executive orders? That was literally one of their fucking arguments that Joe Biden was bad, was that he used so many executive orders, even though it was on par with the prior administration, right? Which was Trump and Obama before him. I think Obama even had more. But now he has over 100, and now they're celebrating it. It's literal 1984 shit. It is super fucking 1984. Because it's like, the same shit goes with the war stuff. Now we're in Greenland. JD Vance is up there giving, speeches about how, we're going to spend this much money on the military right now to be ready for when we have to go to war. And these are the very people that said he was an anti-war president. These are the very people that say he didn't know anything about Project 2025, These are the people that claim that Joe Biden used executive orders to push through his agenda. Every accusation is a confession, specifically with MAGA Republicans. I mean, conservatives as a whole as well. But I don't think Donald Trump read that document. I think JD Vance did. And I do think that Donald Trump is the foot in the door. But I don't think that Donald Trump is the person that they want in office. I think they want JD Vance in office. I think they would have took Mike Pence if Mike Pence would have went along with everybody before January 6th. But JD Vance was his replacement, and he's a much more controllable person. And that's even a little bit of a crazier connection because you got Peter Thiel behind JD Vance. So the real question is, what parts of Project 2025 are the techno bros going to accept? And what parts are they going to not accept? And that's where you're going to see the conflict and the power struggle within the government, in my opinion.
To bring so many of these points out and let people realize just how serious of a situation that we were up against. And then the minute Donald Trump got across the finish line, here comes Steve Bannon just laughing out loud. I guess we can say Project 2025 now. Yay! And Charlie Kirk, who's someone I heard refer to him as the youth pastor of MAGA, and now whoever said that, I was just scrolling and seeing it. Though. And I wish I could give him credit for it because I'll never be able to unhear it, and he will forever be the youth pastor of MAGA now. But they all just begin celebrating and saying, yeah, this is exactly what we intended to do. So, like I said, this next story is disturbing, but it's one that I feel like that we need to focus our attention on. And this is one of those stories that we tried so hard to warn people that, hey,
is JD Vance a true stable genius? Cypher. What's up, Cypher? Nah. The one thing I will say is JD Vance is very adept as a politician. He's also very adept at being a chameleon, as we've all seen. We've all seen the videos of him talking shit about Trump. I don't think any of these people really are geniuses. Not in the manner I think that people want to believe they are. They might be really good at certain things. Like, I do think JD Vance is a very polished politician. I think JD Vance is much scarier in the way of knowing how to be deceitful. Like Trump's a very shitty human being, but he's very out front with his shittiness. I think it was Troy just said that he was saying that Trump should be pro-life, right? And that's the truth. Is like Trump's gonna come out and say things like, "It's all murder. It's all murder." But you know who Trump is, and then like 2 seconds later, he'll be like, well, I mean, it's states. It's up to the states. He doesn't. He's a shitty human being, but he doesn't know how to word things in a way that gets the less, or I guess the more intuitive people, the people that are more involved, people that are better researched. Whereas J.D. Vance can do that. I mean, he did that in that Walz vice presidential debate. He did it over and over again, where he'd go, well, hold on, Walz. Like, we 100% agree that this thing is true. It's just your side fucks up so much that our side needs to step in and do a better job of it. And that's like polished politician shit. And I think that many politicians in the past were pretty comfortable with the power and authority that they got, the types of kickbacks that they got, the money that was being stuffed in their pocket. And I think that they were, for the most part, even though they were corrupt, were very much okay with the level of things that they were getting. Whereas what I see with J.D. Vance, what I see with Elon Musk, even what I see with Donald Trump, is a very overreaching for that power. And you hope that it is overreaching, and you're hoping that they're overextending themselves. But, unless someone stands up and does something about it, it's not going to matter. But these guys definitely seem like they have taken the idea of the dishonest, corrupt politician, and they said, why can't we do more? Why can't we take more? Why don't we get to be dictators? Curtis Yarvin's, his quote is, America needs to get over its fear of dictatorship. And this isn't out of context. He admits to saying that. In fact, he'll say, yes. Now, let me tell you why I think that. He thinks that America should have monarchs. And, of course, Curtis Yarvin is Peter Thiel's house philosopher. And, of course, Peter Thiel also funded J.D. Vance's campaign, the largest amount of donations to a person running for Senate ever before. So there's a plan here. And like I said, do I think he's a stable genius? I don't think he's a genius, but I don't think you don't need to be a genius to take the people that are in America right now and put them under the yoke. People specifically in MAGA are aggressively gullible. Like, they go out of their way to give away their power. They go out of their way to give away their control of their life. It's a lot like what you see when you see people that absolutely need religion to give them some type of purpose in their life. It's the same thing. It's looking for somebody else to take control and responsibility and accountability for the things that you do, so that way you can go about doing them without ever having to worry about whether or not you're a morally good human being or not. You have somebody up there that tells you are. So I don't think you need to be a genius to put the yoke on these people. I think that overall people are aggressively gullible, and they want to be, they want to be sheep. They want to be sheep, and they want a shepherd.
These things could happen to women, and we tried our best, and so we're just going to keep bringing stories like this up so that people realizes we weren't trying to be hyperbolic. We were just trying to stand up for people and let people know what kind of radical agenda was headed our way. But this story here is from MidasNews.com, and it was written by Troy Matthews. A Georgia woman was arrested after disposing of a miscarriage. Police are treating the disposal of the fatal miscarriage as an abandonment of a dead body. So here's the story, folks. A woman in Tifton, Georgia, was arrested this week after disposing of a miscarried fetus in a dumpster. Selena Maria Chandler Scott, age 24, was found unconscious and bleeding by EMS after miscarriage.
Oh, my God.
Police later found the remains of her fetus in a bag in a dumpster nearby.
Shit. After
a witness reported seeing her dispose of the bag. Scott was arrested and charged with concealing.
What? Oh my God. Can you imagine the horrors this woman went through already? She's like laid out bleeding after having a miscarriage, and you're gonna arrest her? I mean, I'm going to hope that they didn't do it there. I'm going to hope that maybe they got her some fucking help first. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine Like, put yourself in this person's shoes for 2 seconds. You're pregnant. What did it say? She's 24? 24 years old. Pregnant. 24 years old. You have a miscarriage, and then you have to dispose of the fetus. What did they think that she should have done with that fetus? Should she have put it in a Ziploc bag? Should she have thrown it in the freezer? What are the guidelines as to fetal disposal after miscarriage? What is a person supposed to do in that scenario? I can tell you I have no fucking idea. Zero. No fucking clue what you would do. Like, one of the things that drives me nuts the most about all the talks about the pro-choice versus pro-life thing is that people on the pro-life side consistently make women out to be these, like, evil, malfeasant, malicious, just terrible people that just willy-nilly decide to get abortions. As though this isn't one of the hardest choices that a woman could possibly make in her entire life. That alone, to go to a clinic and have that done, is horrible. It has emotional repercussions. It has long-standing emotional trauma that goes along with it. Like, that alone is bad enough. But then on a miscarriage? What the fuck was this lady supposed to do? What is the letter of the law? How do you go about that so you don't get in trouble? That's fucking insane.
The death of another person, and one count of throwing away or abandonment of a dead body. Tifton police said in a press release the fetus died as a result of a miscarriage, not an abortion. So this wasn't something that she did, folks. She was transferred to the Tift Regional Medical Center for treatment after being found and was not immediately charged. It's unclear what Scott should have done to avoid charges in this case. Her arrest is another example of the rights of a fetus taking precedence over the rights of women in red states. Vagueness in the language of Republican abortion bans has led women to avoid going to the hospital for care of miscarriages. Any intervention to save a woman's life could be interpreted as an illegal abortion, a crime which carries a sentence of up to 10 years. Scott's case is similar to that of Brittany Watts, a 34-year-old Ohio woman who was charged with the abuse of a corpse after miscarrying in her toilet at her home. A grand jury later refused to indict Watts. So that's the level of extreme.
Did he say they refused to indict her? We need to go back here. Corpse after miscarrying in toilet. A grand jury, later refused to indict Watts. Thank fucking baby Jesus. That's the great thing about the grand jury. It's made up of people. Thank baby Jesus. Fucking 6-pound, 4-ounce baby Jesus. Can you imagine? Jesus Christ. And even when she's not indicted, she has to go through the process. She has to speak to a lawyer. She has to, she's sitting there after having one of the worst possible things that can happen to any human being, woman or man. She has this happen, and then she's going to go through probably months worth of stress and anxiety that she's now going to be put in prison after that? Holy shit, what is wrong with these people? Non-miscarried baby Jesus. Exactly, Pinker Bell. It was a non-miscarried baby Jesus. Matesh, 20 memberships! The army continues to get stronger. We're going to need the army. Fuck, I'm going to need all of you guys. Jesus Christ. This shit's blowing my mind right now, and I fucking called it. I said this shit was going to happen. I said it was going to happen. I said, what do you do when a woman trips, falls down a set of stairs, and has a miscarriage? How are you going to prove that woman didn't throw herself down? Jesus Christ. Mitesh, thank you so much for the 2020 memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're gonna need a whole fucking army of people. A whole fucking army. Like a real fucking army, actually. We're gonna have, part of membership is gonna probably be passing out like fucking assault rifles. Just kidding, I don't have that kind of money. We're gonna GoFundMe for that or something like that. What if Beetlejuice was bigger than Baby Jesus? Baby Jesus was premature, okay? Non-miscarried Baby Jesus was premature. Okay?
Watts. So that's the level of extreme that we're up against. And that is a truly tragic story. And I never thought that we would ever be at this particular point that we're in this country. I really didn't. I was naive.
I may not have believed we could get there, but I said this shit. I said it before. I said they already put women on trial for doing drugs. They already put women on trial for alcohol and losing children. They, I forgot what it was, but the fucking the statistics on Native American women in particular was insane. Like the number of women that have been arrested and put on trial for having miscarriages well before Roe v. Wade was overturned. It was like I think it's since 2012, because I think I did the video 2023 and it was over the last decade. It's insane. And once again, also, don't forget, this doesn't stop with the mother. So any person that in Texas, due to the heartbeat bill, any person in Texas that gives aid or comfort to a person that is seeking an abortion either out of state or within. Obviously, you can't get an abortion in Texas unless it's like life-saving or whatever it is, which we all know that's bullshit. We've already seen the stories about the women bleeding out in the parking lot, the young woman that went back multiple times to the hospital, and each time they sent her home because she wasn't close enough to dead yet. Like, right now you can sue somebody as a civilian for someone else abetting a person seeking out-of-state medical help. You can sue them for up to $10,000. That's fucking crazy. It's fucking insane. Like, there should be no person alive today in America, a country that we thought had evolved, that we thought had taken steps in the correct direction to get away from the fucking embarrassment of the past. There shouldn't be a single fucking person right now that thinks that this woman should be put on trial or even be fucking arrested for having a miscarriage. If you think that that's an appropriate thing, I wish all the worst things on you. I do. I hope to fucking baby Jesus again that all the worst things happen to you. If you think that that woman should be fucking arrested for having a miscarriage, you are a garbage ass human being.
Really thought that the abortion issue was one that the evangelicals used. I felt like it was one that Republican politicians used to tug at the heartstrings of the evangelicals and get their vote.
Sam, Jeremy.
But I felt like that it was something. I felt like Roe versus Wade would always be around. I felt like women would always be able to get the care that they needed. And I always looked at those issues as wedge issues. I never thought that it would actually be overturned. But then we saw Donald Trump stack the Supreme Court. And we saw him do it. And I remember when it first happened and it was overturned, I thought, okay, well, this is tragic and it's going to cause...
But RBG did call it. RBG said the way it was written was bad. She said the way that Roe v. Wade was instilled or installed in our system, in our government, was poorly written, and that it was going to at one point or another be overturned because the people that initially did it, though they had the right idea, the precedent being set, of course, through those cases, that it wasn't solid. She knew that the structure of the way it was worded was going to eventually get it overturned. So for quite a while, when Roe v. Wade was overturned, I was not surprised, and that's specifically because I saw RBG. I forgot what it was in, but talking about that.
Cause a lot of suffering. It's going to cause a lot of pain, but
Yeah, RBG should retire.
this should keep a Republican from winning the White House again. This
love
one
RBG,
issue
but
right
she
here
should
should be
retire.
big enough to stop it, you would think. But over time, I think a lot of people got desensitized to stuff, and they got so caught up in the culture wars that they refused to listen to people like us who was trying to put the very serious stories right in front of their faces and say, hey, consider this. We said this is what's going to happen when Roe versus Wade gets overturned. And I've covered so many stories here on the channel. We had Kate Cox out of Texas that had to leave Texas
Allie
to get
Phillips
the care
in
that she
Tennessee.
needed. Amber Thurman, also in Georgia, passed away because she needed a DNC and couldn't get it. Couldn't get the help she needed. She laid there and bled to death. Now this girl. It's stories we've tried to raise awareness on. It's not about being hyperbolic. Hyperbolic is when you sit and get people scared to death of the trans community and scared to death that their daughter is going to have.
And that's exactly what I was going to say is, even from people that I've known that are Democratic, they still bring up the trans shit, dude. They still bring it up. They're like, well, but, there's like, come on, drag time, story time, which isn't even trans. But, drag time, story time, like, it is bad what's going on with trans people and kids. And it's like, no, it fucking isn't. It doesn't fucking exist. They make up such an incredibly small portion of our society. You think that they've had this fucking gigantic impact on our country, making up, what do they make up, like barely 1%, just over 1% of the country? Like, that's what they fucking use. It's like I said before, it's like when they want to get you on board with the immigration, they're going to bring up people like Lake and Riley. They're going to be like, isn't that shitty that this happened? Yeah, it's shitty that fucking guy is a terrible fucking human being. That's what's shitty. It's not immigrants. It's not brown people. It's not people with the same name as dude, same hair color, same eye color. It's that dude. He's a shitty person. And there are shitty people in all groups. There are shitty trans people. There are shitty white people. There are shitty black people. There are shitty gay people. But you don't get to decide that an entire group of people is bad because one person did something bad. What's going on now, is a byproduct of that hate, that fear. We wouldn't be here if even people on the left were getting triggered. Even the people on the left were getting triggered by the trans talk. We wouldn't be here today if those people had stuck to their values, their morals, and said, hey, I'm open to having a discussion about trans people in sports, whatever you fucking want to. But this isn't the major problem with this country. That's not the fucking issue right now. This is the fucking issue right now. Does Angry Ginger have merch? Yeah, there's a merch store. Actually, there should be a couple things. Oh, did I? I probably don't tag them. I always forget to tag. If you go to bonfire.com, bonfire.com has Angry Ginger merch. I can actually probably get that. If my wife was in the chat, she could actually link that to you guys. Do you consider being raised in Slab City as a necessary part of making you who you are today? Oh, yeah. Yeah, being the little bit of time, because not only when I was in Slab City did I live in Slab City, but also I lived in Slab City during a time when it was nothing but people running from warrants and stuff. Also, I was taken away from my mother and stepfather because of abuse at that time. And I was in a Los Niños for a little bit. So, yeah, very formative. It was a streamer, I forgot which streamer was saying, but was saying that the reason that they claim that people, as they get older, they become more conservative, but that as he gets older, or they, I guess it could have been a girl, as they got older, that they became more progressive or more liberal was because they started poor. And when you realize how hard it is to be poor, and then you realize how much easier it is when you can afford childcare, when you can afford healthcare, when you have transportation, like that, you become more of a giver. You become more concerned, more empathetic, more concerned with helping other people out. I think my background and the way I grew up positions me in a place where I do become, have become more empathetic towards people over the years as I have become better off in my situation. And that's why I always believe that there is a certain amount of time where you do need to take care of yourself, that you do need to, in some way, be selfish. You shouldn't be selfish in like a bad way. You should be selfish in the way of saying, I'm going to take care of me, my mental health, make myself into a person that can then take care of other people. And I think that's where people need to be. That's why, yes, I think when you talk about whether or not Slab City helped me become who I am today, being taken away from my mom and my abusive stepfather at the time, 100%. Yes, 100%. It is why I am who I am.
Have to fight
today.
one in an octagon, and then it turns out that there's a 500,000 athletes in the NCAA, and less than 10 of them are trans. That's hyperbolic.
See, we know.
That's
I know the
hyperbole
talking
is.
points
That's
too
what
well now.
hysteria is. That's what division is. We weren't trying to do any of those things. We were trying to talk about how severe this was all going to get. And I've covered the story several times on the channel and brought this point across that there was a study from the JAMA Institute that found that since Roe versus Wade was overturned, there's been 64,000 cases of women being raped. There was, and a lot of those cases was in places where that those pregnancies couldn't be, there was no sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. There was no exception for rape. There was nothing. So we covered stories like that.
Get me in trouble.
And then we would have people say, well, it's still
great,
legal.
Tennessee.
They just kicked it back to the states. If you don't like it in your state, go to another state. Well, then we've covered stories on the channel about states saying, okay, if you go to another state, then we'll get you and we'll bring you back here and prosecute you here.
Texas didn't
and
say
we'll
they'll bring you
prosecute
back.
the doctor over there. So now these doctors are terrified to provide.
Dude, in that case in Ohio with that 10-year-old girl, the 10-year-old girl, they tried to prosecute her when she went, I forgot what state she went to outside of Ohio, but she went out of state to get health care. And they tried to prosecute the doctor. One fucking Republican decided to introduce a bill to keep that 10-year-old from being able to go out of the state, to say that she could be prosecuted if she did so. And when asked about it, this motherfucker said she would realize later in life that by having the child, she had made the right decision. Once again, I hope all the worst things happen to that person. I hope he gets fucking Ebola in his dick. All right. I cannot. If I saw that, dude, Jesus Christ. I cannot. I can't say these things on YouTube. But yeah, every one of these things that people have talked about, somewhere in America, someone has tried to make them a reality, or has made them a reality. When we say that they will have states that do not include exceptions, they have states that don't have exceptions. When we say that they'll have exceptions, but they'll make it so fucking hard and have so many hoops to jump through that these women will end up dying from this shit, that's already happened. When we say that they will try to prosecute doctors for giving women the health care they need, that shit has happened. Even when it came to IVF, now I remember the video I made. It's the IVF video. Even when it came to IVF, they wanted to prosecute that person for breaking those fucking vials because they said that was a loss of life. And that led to the Alabama Supreme Court saying that IVF shouldn't be accessible. I am fucking done being told that the shit that I believe is just all hyperbolic. That the shit that I believe is you're just talking about the slippery slope from a bunch of fucking people that have lived on the slippery slope their entire fucking life. Well, you can't have background checks. They'll take your guns away. You can't elect a black man. He'll take your guns away. You can't take guns away from domestic violence offenders, even though 2 women every single day die from domestic violence that involves a gun. Can't do that because they'll take your guns away. Can't have red flag laws because they'll take your guns away. They've lived on a slippery slope their whole fucking life. And the moment that I say something like, oh, well, you know, women are going to die from this because there's going to be these hoops they have to jump through that are going to lead to them having medical emergencies, and they're going to die. And people go, it's a slippery slope. Okay, whatever. It's not going to happen. It's fucking happening.
I'd care for women. And that is those are the kind of stories that people should have been focusing on. All these bro podcasters and all these networks that just sat and covered trans and sports, you know, that sat and told people that drag queens was the problem. Drag queens was going to come after their kids, and just all this ridiculous shit they set and spread. And I never will forget, I've said this several times on the channel, I always think of this anytime I'm doing a story like this, but I was a huge fan, and still am, as far as that of pro wrestling. I've always enjoyed it. I did more so back in the 80s.
He's from Tennessee.
You know, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen,
Dusty
Midnight Express, and Jim
Rhodes!
Cornette. That was my jam.
The American Dream? We can start having wrestle talk. I don't know anything about wrestling nowadays, but in the 90s when I was a kid, I'd say late 80s. I wouldn't even say, I probably stopped watching it late 80s, but I can tell you guys about the Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker. Fucking even Hulk Hogan's shitty racist ass. $20! 5 Alarm Fire, $20. Thank you, 5 Alarm Fire. My neighbors in my red state have to pay $6,000 per year for their frozen fertilized eggs for life. Woo! $6,000. Dude, and IVF is so fucking expensive. It's like 50-50 whether or not an egg takes. That's why you have so many like twins and triplets. What was it? Fucking Octomom? You guys remember the Octomom lady? Like they put 2 in at a time at the beginning. They ask you, do you want to do it 1 at a time, or do you want to try 2 because it's 50-50? Because if you do it the first time, then you got to pay again. Like, I can't remember. I had a friend who did it, but I want to say it was somewhere between $15,000 and $30,000 each time that they had to do it. It might have been cheaper the second time. I don't know. I'm not an IVF expert. But by itself, IVF is incredibly expensive. $6,000 a year. $6,000 a year. Jesus Christ. Scott, don't take the left bear, stay away from the guns. Scott, I have guns. That's what I'm saying. It's like people need to stop with that shit. It's not a slippery slope when you're talking about people taking your gun rights away, because you can do things about that. A background check, not a slippery slope, okay? If we started saying the government's allowed to come into your house and fucking check your guns every fucking 2 months or something like that, I'm going to be like, no. Okay? That sounds crazy. But if you're like, here's this violent felon, which in the state of California, you can't have guns if you're a felon. If you're going to say something like, this person is being investigated for domestic violence, and there is a clear link between women dying, and gun ownership, then that person's gun should be taken away during the investigation. And if they're found to be not guilty of those accusations, they can have them back. But there is a line to be drawn that is common fucking sense. Just like there can be a line that's drawn with women's health care. But at the end of the day, you can't create hoops for women to jump through that literally make them come to a fucking hospital multiple times because they're not close enough to dead yet. That's fucking insanity.
But, you know, I still watch it today with my kids, and I always loved The Undertaker. He was always on my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, and he still would be as far as the character of The Undertaker. Well, he has Trump on his podcast, and that was disappointing, you know, but it's like, hey, okay, you know, that's what he thinks. I can, you know, still respect his art or his craft or whatever. He's got him on there, and he sat there and just normalized and same-washed this insane person.
What's up, Alan?
But there was this one part in that podcast I'll never forget. It's where he said, "Sir, I have a question about my daughter because you met her yesterday, and there's a question I want to talk to you about you protecting her." And I thought, well, wait a minute, maybe this guy could redeem himself by asking about Roe
No,
versus Wade. Maybe he could redeem himself by
they
asking
never
about,
do.
what if my daughter's bleeding out in a hospital bed? Will she be able to get the care she needs? I'm not sure where he lives these days, but he's from Texas. So I'm like, that's what I thought. I was like, he could redeem himself right here with me if he would at least ask that question.
The
But he
disappointment.
said, what are you going to do to protect her from trans in sports? And
Oh,
I just
God
facepalmed.
damn it.
Like, dude, what a golden opportunity that you blew.
It's fucking mind-boggling how fucking obsessed these people are with trans people. You want to know something? This is something that I've talked to my daughter multiple times about, because my daughter plays sports. My daughter's an athlete. My daughter, multiple track events, soccer. She loves to do all this shit, right? And we were talking about it. Talking about whether or not she feels comfortable. And this is what you should be doing. You should be talking to children about whether or not they feel comfortable. Once again, just like you should be talking to women about their health care, you should be talking to children about whether or not they're comfortable. My daughter plays co-ed sports. So my daughter, at this point, plays soccer with seniors in high school. So she plays soccer with 18-year-olds, and she is very young. And my whole point with her was, this makes you a better player. This makes you stronger. And it's such a character building thing. Sports are, right? It teaches you teamwork. It teaches you how to get along with people. It teaches you, how to be a good sport. It gets you out there physically, and it improves your mental state as well. Like, I believe everybody should play sports. I believe everybody should exercise. I believe everybody should play sports. But I've told her so many times, like, when it comes to playing with the boys, it's like, put your shoulder in their chest. Fucking get physical. Like, make those boys know that you're there and make them respect you. It's not an issue in the first fucking place, but Jesus Christ, even that part is fucking dumb. I saw this Facebook post the other day, and it was this young girl. I want to say she was 12. She might have been 13. That won a wrestling championship against these boys. She won the wrestling event, not wrestling, real, fucking actual high school wrestling, or I guess it'd be grade school wrestling. But she won the event against these boys. And I clicked it because I fucking knew there would just be so many people in that chat claiming she was transgender, or claiming that girls shouldn't be in these sports. And the best part about it was, because there's not enough girls that wrestle, there generally isn't full-on girls wrestling. So they oftentimes do wrestle with the boys. It's co-ed. And so it was fucking amazing, because you saw these old white dudes that were like, it's not right for that girl to be wrestling with them boys. And all of these fucking wrestling parents were just shitting on these dudes. This one guy said, since when do girls wrestle with boys? And this guy said, for the entire 35 years that I've been fucking coaching wrestling, you moron. That's how long. That's how long. There was never a question about girls wrestling in boys' events before the right started talking about trans athletes. Never a fucking question. And I was actually so happy. It felt so good, because some of these people were conservative people. You could tell. They were like, you don't know anything about what you're talking about. You're out of your element. You have no frame of context, Donnie. No frame of reference, Donnie. Take that shit elsewhere. And I was like, there you go. That's the fucking energy. 35 years. That's what that dude said. He's like, the whole time I've been coaching you, fucking moron.
And the chances of your daughter facing a trans person in a volleyball match is slim to none compared to
Yes.
the cases we've covered here on the channel of women who were left to die because they didn't get the care they needed. The fact that men got so worked up in these kind of culture wars and divisive subjects just shows their bigotry. It shows that their bigotry and the stuff that they feared and the stuff they thought was weird outweighed their actual care for their own daughters. And they really put their trust in people like Trump. They're still sitting over there going, that dude's being hyperbolic. Trump wouldn't do that, man. That ain't what I voted for. All those classic stupid lines that I'm so tired of hearing. I'm so tired of hearing people say that shit. I'm so tired of hearing people say it because we sit here and we watch and we pay attention every damn day. And we cover the tough stories, the ones that's painful to read. But that's the ones that they want to sweep under the rug. Well, don't talk about that. Let me get on here and flex and talk about what a macho man I am as I put down this trans person, as I refuse to use their pronouns. What you mean, flex and do that,
Fucking obsessed.
I have no respect for men like that whatsoever. None. There will never be any for me on that. So we're going to continue to cover these kind of stories here on the channel because I feel like they're important and I feel like people needs to hear them. And I know sometimes they're painful to hear and hard to hear. But we weren't trying to be hyperbolic. We were trying to talk about the issues at hand.
You just say hyperbolic.
And we were trying to talk about just how bad things could get. And now we're there. So I don't know if we'll ever be able to put the toothpaste back in the tube, but all I know is that we have to continue to highlight these stories and raise awareness and let people realize what's going on. And as bad as I hate to say it, maybe if it hits enough guys and they have to suffer with their daughters, maybe they'll turn around. I don't have a lick of faith in them, though. I'm not trying to be a pessimist or bring down the room. There's really no way to wrap up this video on a positive note. I'll just say that.
I was just thinking that.
But I would hope that one day some of these people would start to wake up to just how severe this situation truly is.
Damn. Fucking A, dude. That is so crazy. And like you said, they'd like to just sweep it under the rug. That's why it's important to keep talking about it. That's what you just got to keep on. You got to keep talking about it. The toothpaste is out and it's not coming back. Beetlejuice, that is the goddamn truth. You can't, we've seen it. We know this is what exists in our society. And like I said, the saddest part about all the trans stuff is how many people that I know on the left that also were like, well, dude, actually some of that stuff's pretty concerning. And it's like, dude, you're falling for it. You're being gaslit. Like every one of them, I'll be like, oh, have you had like a bad experience with a transgender person? They're like, oh, well, no, not me personally, but there's a lot of stories out there. I'm like, oh, can you tell me about one? Like right now, do you remember one that you could tell me about? Well, no, but I mean, if you Google it, there's actually lots of. So wait a minute, it's so important to you that has caused you to fear that these people, just their existence has put fear in you. But you can't even give me one story? One? Like, one of the biggest benefits to me being on here was actually interacting with transgender people. Because I did grow up with a transgender person. It was when I was, like, real young. Like, probably between, like, 6 and, like, 10 or something like that. And they called this person, he was a man, he was transitioning, and they called them Red. And I was like, the whole time I was a kid, so I didn't know that there was anything different. I didn't think there was anything weird, like fucking, I just thought they were a person, and they're nice. They're nice to me. So like, not a lot of people when I was a kid were nice to me. Grew up in a fucked up place, so I didn't think anything about that, right? And then I lived my life and nothing happened from that. And then when I got on here, and, I've employed transgender people, I've employed LGBT people. So I have interactions in that. But when I got on here, I met Neve, who is transgender, who also does content on here. A lot of like drama stuff, so not really my style. But I met Neve. Neve was super fucking cool. Super nice to me. Dealt with all kinds of shit. People calling her a transformer and, other shit, like making fun of her. And she dealt with it really well because Neve is a snarky ass, she's a snarky ass lady, okay? Very snarky. Quick with the sarcasm, very witty. And, you know, but it was crazy to see. I was like, man, you don't hate her because of like her personality. You don't hate her because she's done bad shit to people. You just hate her because she's trans. That's fucking weird. That's like, it's racism. It's like when you hate someone for being black, hate somebody for speaking Spanish, hate somebody because, you know, they preferred their own sex because they're gay. Like, that's such a weird fucking reason to hate people. Like, before Dennis Miller went nuts, because he went nuts as well. Before Dennis Miller went nuts, 20 years ago, 30 years probably even ago, I think it was an HBO special, said, I don't get racism, I don't get homophobia. He was like, there are so many better reasons to hate people than their ethnicity or their sexuality. And that's paraphrasing. It's been 30 years. But that was the gist of what he was saying. Like, I can get with people that are like, no, I don't like this person because they've taken these actions. And it doesn't matter whether that person's trans or if they're Latino or if they're a woman or a man or they're gay or they're straight. The reason I dislike them is because of their actions. I don't, dislike Trump because of, his white skin. I don't dislike him because of his fucked up comb over. I don't dislike him because he's eating too many Big Macs and he's fat as fuck. Okay? No. I hate Trump because he's destroying the country. Because all of his ideas are fucking dumb. Because instead of taking the chance to actually do something good with this country by winning the fucking presidency, like to legitimately fucking ensconce himself as one of the greatest presidents of all time, he chose to do dumb shit day after day. That's why I hate him. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well, let's get off this shit. Like you said, there's no way to end that positive. What are we supposed to fucking say? Hope that lady don't go to prison for that shit. Like, that's like the fucking most positive thing you can say about that. Jesus Christ, I hope that lady that fucking passed out next to a dumpster after she miscarried and dropped her fucking dead fetus in a trash can woke up to be fucking arrested. I hope she doesn't go to prison. That's the most positive fucking thing I can say. It's fucking bananas that we live in this fucking reality. This is the dumbest timeline that has ever fucking existed. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, anyways, we're moving on. I'm becoming an angry ginger. It's an angry ginger night for sure. Okay? It's an angry ginger night for sure. All right, so we're going to watch Titus now. We're going to watch Titus's Armageddon update on the Whiskey Leaks signal chat. And most of you are pretty up to date. I think the Jeffrey Goldberg dude said that he was willing to release even more text messages if they keep fucking with him. Did you guys know that one of the people that was involved in that text message that they out is a woman that's undercover over there in, I think it's in Yemen. She's undercover as a CIA agent. Holy shit. They exposed a undercover CIA agent, and they're like, there's nothing in that wasn't, there was no classified information. Just the person that was potentially undercover. That's it. Not even a big deal. Not even a big deal. All right, let's watch Titus.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update.
Marcy,
Honestly,
what's up,
I want you to
Marcy?
know I'm still mad about the incompetence of Hillary Clinton, Hunter, and Joe Biden. You remember Hunter, who is never in government, yet somehow his laptop was going to bring down democracy,
Yep.
and it didn't even bring down actual hookers he was doing in his hot tub. But still, this behavior is outrageous.
And what happened? What happened to the laptop? Why haven't they fucking shown everybody the laptop? Fucking show the laptop then.
And after 35 investigations, Hillary was
Yeah, Titus is
cleared
still
for her
kicking.
emails.
What difference does it make?
She testified for 11 hours about Benghazi, and she was cleared.
No shit, though.
Something is afoot. You know, maybe I should calm down. Now we should compare and contrast those two to the current clown show
He
of
said maybe I should
dingleberries,
calm
incompetent alcoholics, and Putin butt massagers raging through sweet potato Hitler's administration. It seems that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, or as the internet has been calling him, Whiskey Leaks.
That's the best nickname ever. And have you guys seen the video of him when he gets off the plane? He gets off the plane and they ask him, they're like, do you know about the signal chat leaks? Do you know about what happened? Do you have any comment on that? And he's like, do I have any comment on a reporter that constantly spreads misinformation like the Russia witch hunt? You want me to comment on whether or not that's real? You want me to comment? It's like, yeah, okay, are you going to answer the question? No, you're not, because you know your dumb ass fucking got drunk as fuck, pushed a bunch of buttons, and fucking now you're sending classified information. How the fuck don't you look? Isn't there a person? Isn't there a fucking person that looks at the group chat, looks at the name that are in it, and they're like, okay, that person's supposed to be here. That person's supposed to be here. Oh, why is Bobo the clown up in this bitch? Like, what the fuck are we working with? How dumb is this administration? Like, oh, who is Jim from The Office? Oh, it's cool. He's fine. Let's just leave him in here. You know what? The more the merrier. Jesus Christ.
I did not come up with that, but whoever did, you are an American goddamn hero.
Yep.
I call him Whiskey
Get a
Tequila
fucking
Fuck Up.
statue.
Same guy who paid off a woman who claimed he sexually assaulted her. Well, he decided to share our nation's war plans and play-by-play bombing of another country over Signal, an app that you and I can just go download. And so can the Russians. Yeah, you just go to the App Store and you think different, eh? But that's not all of the problem. In fact, the Biden administration used Signal, too, to be notified when top-secret meetings were happening,
exactly,
or if they had classified messages in their inbox. They didn't use the app to have top-secret meetings on it, which...
Oh, that is fucking amazing. Oh, shit, I'm dying. And you know what? Show me the fucking right-wing, either mainstream media or alternative content creator right now that makes jokes about Donald Trump, that does this. Like, I thought one of the funniest things Titus said in the last, 6 months was when he said Joe Biden dropped out of the race because if he didn't drop out of the race, they were going to send him to Dallas, Texas in an open convertible. And I was like, damn! You're supposed to be able to laugh at the dude. You're supposed to be able to laugh at fucking Joe Biden even if you like him. You're supposed to be able to laugh. Remember, make comedy legal. We're gonna make comedy legal. Fucking high on ketamine Elon ass. Okay? Like, you're supposed to be able to laugh. That shit's fucking hilarious. I'm gonna watch it again. We're gonna watch it again because I thought it was fucking that funny. Okay? Going back.
The app to have top-secret meetings on it, which is the difference between calling a fire truck or calling an arsonist. Hey, bro, we're bombing Iran. I'm going live on Insta. Meet me there. This was in a group chat that included upwards of 11 people. The head of the CIA, John Ratcliffe, the Secretary of Defense, and hair gel.
Hold on. We gotta go back to that. What was that? That was fucking... I want those names. I need those names. Lucky Yemen man. That's Xi Jinping. Vladimir Putin. Oh, God, dude. Well, he forgot Jeffrey Goldberg. He forgot the fucking Atlantic guy. Oh, way to go, guys. Total fail on your part. Okay, but anyways.
Hey, John Ratcliffe, the Secretary of Defense, and hair gel enthusiast Pete. I didn't rape her, but I paid her. Exit.
Grab him by the pussy.
National Security
God
Advisor
damn it,
Mike
they've said the
Waltz.
R word so many times.
Co-Vice President under Elon Musk, J.D. Vance.
It's cold as shit here.
And Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi, get me those Dalmatian puppies, Gabbard. Secretary of State, past never Trumper, and now Trump taint taster, little Marco Rubio, and possibly Russians.
Little
and
Marco.
whoever uses the open source app
Okay, and I didn't know this, but has anybody ever noticed how big fucking Marco Antonio Rubio's ears are? Holy shit. That man's ears take up like 75% of his head. He is more ear than Marco Antonio Rubio. He is little Marco Antonio Rubio with big ass ears. Like, I did not know that man's ears were that big. They are fucking gigantic, okay?
Signal, and definitely a reporter from the Atlantic magazine. That's right. It wasn't just another secret spy getting top secret information on the attack on terrorists.
Jeff
It was a
Goldblum
guy
is
who
innocent.
reports about attacks on terrorists. How do you let a reporter know about a classified attack that is currently underway? It's like the seven dwarves of dumbass. The incompetence that is happening on the daily, the incompetence that is happening hourly in this White House would be funny if it wasn't for the fact that it's putting our soldiers' lives in danger.
Yep.
You know, the men and women who keep us safe? These T-ball level cartoon villains.
Yeah, admits that he was not briefed. Remember that. Because that's Curtis Yarvin 101. That is techno-oligarch, reduce all government or release all government employees. It was the whole fucking point of what Yarvin wrote in 2022 in April. He said that Donald Trump will have nothing to do with actually running the country. He will just be a TV president that gives speeches and goes to events. The reason he didn't know about what was going on was because he's not there. Donald Trump isn't making decisions. He's signing executive orders that he's like, I don't know, I came up with another one today. He's like, actually, they freed me up. They're doing all the work so that way I can write these cool executive orders. I just make up a new one every day. I'm like, today, you won't be able to vote. Let's make it. I said, wow, there's a lot of people voting. Let's stop that. Let's get rid of all these voters. Yesterday, I sent 200 Mexicans. I sent them to El Salvador. They're gone now. They're gang members with autism awareness tattoos. We got the bad ones out.
Villains are circle jerking each other on an app about a terrorist attack. Not a special piece of software that Jason Bourne uses, and I know Jason Bourne is imaginary, like all these people's qualifications. Signal is the same app people use to cheat on each other. What a joke in the world. Trump has created a laughingstock out of every department of a once proud security system. A system that
GK. That was the worst part, Reed. It's like they're fucking emojiing to each other. It's like Donald Trump's cabinet, our government, is currently filled with people that wish they were 16-year-old Instagram users. They're fucking sending fire emojis and shit. Fist bumps. Prayers up, dog. Prayers up. The only thing that was missing is I wish that Pete Hegseth would have dropped a Skibbity toilet. Okay? Or if possibly like Tulsi Gabbard was like, them Yemen's really gonna get that Riz, okay? Like that's the only thing that was missing from that. The emojis back and forth, like I don't even have enough time in this classified spec ops where these people are gonna die in this whole other fucking country to do anything more than to fucking type out my favorite emojis. It's like bam, bam, bam. All right, cool. Anyways, back to the Big Macs. All right.
protected us and our allies. But don't worry about that, because after he gets done dismantling, destroying, and demoralizing this country, letting arrogant dipshits tweet, text, and message top-secret war attacks,
Jesus Christ.
We're not going to have any allies. I'm Christopher Titus, and this
New
is the
Russia.
Armageddon Update. Relax, it'll be fine. At least we'll have Putin on our side. Then he'll be like, by the way, I got your message off of the TV. I know you did not send it to me, but he was walking with me whole time anyway. What the fuck are we doing?
$10, 5 Alarm Fire. Thank you so much, 5 Alarm Fire. The real leaders are using Signal to avoid any FOUA requests. That's the goddamn truth right there. And that's why they, our government should not be using apps where they can make messages disappear. Look, not in any way do I stand in support of terrorism. Not in any way do I support, people endangering our troops' lives. But if you're going to do something, if you want people to take you seriously, you want them to have trust and faith that the person that potentially is keeping Americans safe, and I use the air quotes for that because it's up in the air right now. We want to know what you're thinking. This government was supposed to be the most transparent government that you've ever seen. We're going to release the JFK files, MLK Jr., We're gonna release all the files, Epstein's client list. You guys, I'm not on it, and I barely knew the guy. Like we played golf like twice. I don't know any jizz lanes. Okay, we're gonna be the most transparent government you've ever seen. You could practically see through us to the Tesla merchandise on the front lawn, where you will want to buy one of these beautiful Teslas. It's all computer. Like, that's what remember they fucking said that? Most transparent government ever, guys. Fucking you're using apps that delete the messages while bombing other countries. Because what you really want people to believe is that you've never actually bombed any other countries, because all these fucking morons have never actually done any research into the fact that Trump actually bombed fucking like a bajillion fucking people during his first fucking term. But whatever. You can see through it, guys. You can see all the information. It's out in the open. The only thing that's out in the open right now is how fucking stupid this administration is. Jesus Christ. I'm turning into Titus. I'm actually kind of turning into Titus at this point. Stage left ranting. Yep. Oh my God. What's happening, Midas Kevin? What's going on? Ah, fucking pound emoji. Flag fire! Fucking. Oh, God! There's fucking women being arrested for having miscarriages. We're fucking sending signal chats about bombing people. Literally in the messages. Is it Pete Hegseth? Or does Pete Hegseth, is it JD Vance? Which one of them? One of these dipshits. They're interchangeable. They're all fucking the same fucking dipshit moron. One of them said, Europeans are so pathetic. I agree, they're so pathetic. We're not going to have any fucking allies left. And I think that's the way they want it, to be honest with you. I think Trump is all in on somehow fucking appeasing Putin, but at the same time, he's even failing at that because he needs to be a strong man. So he's not even creating a relationship with Putin. There really isn't even a chance that that's going to happen. To be honest with you, Putin will use Trump, but Putin's never going to be Trump's buddy, okay? Putin's fucking best friend is Xi Jinping, who Trump just like can't stop fucking shitting on him because he's like Winnie the Pooh, Little Rocket Man. Oh, that's the other one. They all look the same. They call them Eurasians. Oh no, is it? The Azurasians. They call them Azurasians. Little Rocket Man, Winnie the Pooh. He thinks that fucking like Putin's going to be his buddy. And even that he's failing at. Because then Putin's like, okay, I bombed more power station after we signed treaty. And Trump's like, whoa, no. I said no. You said you were going to stop. Okay, last power station. No more. You can only bomb 3 power stations after the peace treaty. How about nuclear? He thinks that fucking Putin is going to be his friend, but at the same time, he's like, I'll sanction the shit out of you. And Putin's like, that would be funny. I have sex with your wife and daughter, actually, both same time. Maybe also son. Not Eric, though. I don't actually know how Putin really talks, so I'm making up that's a very generic, stereotypical. Sorry, Russia. Sorry if you're Russian and you're in the chat and you're like, that shit's racist. That's my bad. Oh my God. Cajun, what's happening, Cajun? Yeah, it's because I've been fucking drinking coffee. Gets me all flimmy. It makes it a gruff Trump. All right. You like the accent? Wasn't bad? All right. 6 out of 10. That's what I'm going with. Russian judges give me 6 out of 10. Let's watch let's follow that up because this is well within the same thing here. Let's follow that up with a Good Liars video. Let's watch the Good Liars talking about the Signal chat group with people. Because I haven't seen anybody talk to these people. I haven't seen anybody answer any of the questions like Trump supporter interview style. Like, I've got to see the mental gymnastics that these people do to defend this shit. Like, if Biden had done this, I'd be like, oh, fuck, dude. God damn it. We fucked up. Oh, it's over. God damn it. Like, if that shit happened, I would be like, Biden, could you stop, please? Could you not? Could you not do shit like that? But I guarantee these people are going to find a way to defend it. So let's see what these Trump supporters decide to tell the Good Liars about the Signal chats.
Hands in a group chat that included
What's happening, Canal Cobra? Gotta always say hi to the people on Twitch. I get like 3 viewers on Twitch, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much for being in the chat over there on Twitch. Thank you so much. What up, AJ? What's going on?
a journalist.
No. You ever try to start a group text?
Hold on.
Adding people.
Hold on, I missed that.
Have you accidentally texted war plans in a group chat that included a journalist?
No. You ever try to start a group
It seems like she thought about it, too. Like, she took that question seriously. She was like, no, I don't think I did.
You're adding people and you accidentally add the wrong person. All of a sudden, your Aunt Mary knows all your raunchy plans for the bachelor party. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz accidentally
true story
added a
from Jesse.
reporter to the group text. And not a good reporter.
Have you ever accidentally texted somebody war plans?
Damn, that's what it comes down to.
Have you ever accidentally texted war plans to a group chat that included a random civilian?
No.
Have you guys ever accidentally included somebody on a group chat where you were sharing war plans?
Nope.
No?
No, not at all.
No?
Not today.
Not once?
Nope. Never.
Do you find that to be a relatable thing?
Not at all.
No?
Nope.
I have not. You've never
fly, Eagles,
included somebody
fly.
in a group chat by accident and then texted something like, team update, time now, 11:44 Eastern, weather is favorable, just confirm, CENTCOM, we are a go for mission launch.
Team update! Time now! I'm doing that because it was in all caps. 11:44 Eastern time. That was small letters. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed. With CENTCOM, we are a go for a mission launch.
Plans that were shared
like
by
these
Defense
shouts, the
Secretary
capital
Pete
letters.
Hegseth in a group chat that included the Vice President, the Secretary of State, the Director of National Intelligence, and notably, reporter Jeffrey Goldberg.
You ever texted anybody war plans? No.
No, actually, I smoked enough weed where I can't text.
You can't text at all?
No, bad hands and too much pot.
Okay.
Wait. I don't think that's true.
Cristiano Ronaldo, that's a good one. What does that mean? Yeah.
You don't know Cristiano Ronaldo?
Never heard of him. A soccer player.
Sure.
Oh, dude. Oh, it must be so nice outside of America. She's like, let's not talk about dumb shit. Let's talk. You don't know who Cristiano Ronaldo is? I didn't even say his name right. Cristiano Ronaldo? I can't do the accent and say his name, which actually seems like I should probably be able to. It should be easier, but I couldn't. Like, it has to be so nice to be outside of America right now and just be like, wow, these people are fucking dumb. Like, she's like, you guys like soccer? Oh, sorry, football. Sorry.
Was over there for so long and over there all the time.
No shit.
In Times Square?
This is a person?
It's the best soccer player in the world.
He's trolling.
Soccer.
He's trolling
Why
hard.
you weren't using normal, like, secure channels that you would normally use to discuss attack plans?
Frosty, you're a fucking moron. I just want to say that.
All right, we were trying to
I
find
know
out if
you'll
this was
defend this
relatable,
dumb
if anybody
shit
had
'cause
done
you're
this
a
themselves,
fucking
accidentally
moron.
texted war plans.
Absolutely not.
Mike Waltz says he has no idea how this dishonest reporter
Jesus
even got
Christ.
access to the
Not
chat.
one honest fucking Trump supporter.
On someone else's
Oh,
contact. So of
Jesus
course I didn't
Christ.
see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else.
Hey, I'm Mike Waltz. Do you want to join our group chat?
Yeah, okay.
Did you accept the invitation to our group chat?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh
Team
my
update.
God.
Time now, 11:44 Eastern. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM. We are a go for mission launch. 12:15 Eastern. F-18's launch. First strike package.
Excellent.
Fist pound. American flag emoji. Fire emoji.
Were you listening to that?
Jesus
Were you just
Christ.
listening to us?
Yeah.
Why were you listening to us?
You invited me in.
Well, who invited you?
Mike Waltz.
I've forgotten your name, but
Oh, I'm.
He's an Aussie.
Mike Waltz.
Mike Waltz.
Mike Waltz, yeah.
That was who invited you?
Yeah.
What's your profession?
I'm a farmer.
You're a farmer?
Yeah.
Well, you're a deceitful so-called farmer, in my opinion.
All right.
You just got slandered.
Like, what the fuck are these guys talking
I'm really confused,
about?
guys.
Why were you listening to us?
Because you said join my group chat.
Because we invited you?
Yeah.
And that's why you were listening?
Yeah.
Did it feel fair that to then get insulted after that and discredited?
Yeah. Unfair.
Yeah.
You're
little
talking
bit.
about a
little bit.
deceitful
Little bit.
and highly discredited.
Frosty, you absolute fucking cult member. They fucking shared the name of a CIA operative that was undercover in Yemen. You fucking moron. Your two brain cells. Have them talk to each other. Have one of your brain cells go find the other fucking brain cell that's currently hiding in a fucking corner playing tic-tac-toe on what's left of the little bit of brain meat that you still have, and go fucking ask them. Go ask them to get together and say, hold on, is it bad that people are planning an attack on a supposed terrorist group in another fucking country? Ask them, Frosty. They didn't release it, you fucking moron! Why would the fucking reporter release the name of the undercover CIA agent? You're not this fucking stupid, are you? Jesus Christ, you are. I'm sorry, you are.
So-called journalist.
Hey guys,
Frosty, I have no hope for you anymore.
War plans. Okay, this is some war
I
planning.
have no hope for you if you can't get this one, bud.
Did you look at them?
I don't want to.
You are deceitful, so-called.
But
journalist.
Hillary.
Fire
But
emoji.
Hillary.
Good job, Pete.
No, don't
And
block
your
Frosty. I make fun of Frosty.
Okay,
He's
so
fun.
you saw that? You read all that?
Oh, you can block him.
Yeah, we're going to slander you now.
Thank you so much.
Fist pound, fire.
Frosty, go find that fucking brain cell again, because you have to ask him another question. Nobody wants America to fail, you absolute fucktard. There is no one in this chat that wants America to fail. But what we do know, Frosty, is that the person that's currently in charge, your fucking cult leader, the dumbest fucking human being on this whole fucking goddamn planet, that guy is actively trying to make America fail. He's actively trying to crash the economy. He's actively trying to make our alliances hate us. He's actively fucking burning down the country, but you're so goddamn fucking stupid that you can't see it. Love you, Frosty.
Fire emoji. Bicep arm.
One day, Frosty, you might wake
how's
up.
it going?
One day, buddy.
Come to my chat here.
It'll probably be too
these
late.
Are some top secret war plans.
But you probably will.
This is a planned attack that we're doing pretty soon. You want to take a look at this?
What is it?
These are top secret war plans for an attack that's going to happen very soon.
Where?
God damn it.
Wait a second. Why are you looking at this?
Sorry?
You are a deceitful so-called journalist.
No, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just a tourist from Denmark, so.
Frosty.
Why were you looking at
None
these?
of that's proven. You can't prove a single thing.
That's
Frosty.
your fault.
Show me the evidence of the 25 million people, Frosty. Frosty, show me the evidence. Show me the evidence of the 25 million people, Frosty. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You never did. Buddy, everything you people believe is spoon-fed to you by fucking dipshits that can't prove a single fucking thing. You're like fucking McCarthy's like wet dream. You are the wet dream of Joe McCarthy. People that are dumb enough that if you fucking wave around conspiracy theories in front of, that you can make them fearful, angry, and hateful enough to be so goddamn scared that they believe every fucking thing that you say. If Joseph McCarthy was here in my chat right now, he'd be jerking off to you. He would have came all over his fucking leg already. He would be wiping himself clean and starting another session. He'd be like, this Frosty guy right here, this motherfucker, holy shit, I need like 100 more of him. What are you telling me? There's like fucking 50 million? Oh, fucking bring him over. I'm gonna rip the skin off my dick.
And happen to know the guy's a total sleazebag.
Here, you guys want to take a look at these war plans?
Frosty, you can't prove any of that.
You're a deceitful
You don't even know how to do
journalist.
fucking math.
Team update. Time now. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM. We are a go for launch. 5:18 launch.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Why are you listening to our conversation?
Why are you listening to our conversation?
To my crowd.
Now we're involved in some Times Square beef.
Yeah.
He's like, get the fuck out of my spot.
More Times Square, yeah.
Here we are talking about some of the greatest business deals ever made. The greatest companies in the world are moving into the United States, and you want to ask about whether or not Signal works. I don't know that Signal works. I think Signal could be defective, to be honest.
He's the dumbest human being on the planet. Oh, Jesus Christ. He said, I don't know if Signal works. He has no fucking idea what Signal is. And he can't ever, like, just say that he doesn't know what something is. He can tell you that he doesn't know people that he 100% has known for fucking the entirety of his whole fucking life, okay? He can definitely say he doesn't know people. But the man can never fucking admit that he has a blind spot in what would... I don't even want to use the word. I'm going to say blind spot in his education, but Jesus Christ, it feels bad. Feels bad even fucking saying that. God damn it. Frosty, you got me all worked up.
Jeffrey Goldberg got the scoop of his life by accident.
I shit on Frosty all the time.
Fat
Frosty comes in
into a
because
private
that's his
chat.
fetish.
Team update.
Frosty
Time
likes to be shit
now,
on.
11:44 Eastern. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM. We are a go for mission launch.
Excellent. Fist pound. American flag. Fire emoji. Good job,
Where all my
Pete,
best
and your
jokes come
team.
from. Free
The
Frosty.
team in Mal did a great job. Double space as well.
No, they're not banning him. They're blocking him. It's a person. They're blocking him on a personal level. They're not banning him.
Were you guys listening to us?
Yes.
Yeah, he claimed
Why were
25
you-
million immigrants. Yes, he did.
Why were you doing that?
Frosty's a member.
You were a little loud right in front of me.
You guys are deceitful so-called
Frosty,
journalists.
you can't.
If you're overhearing,
You have
that's
no
on you.
evidence on any of your claims.
Oh no.
You have zero evidence for any
American
of your claims.
flag.
You just
Fire
regurgitate
emoji.
the shit you saw on X Dog.
Thumbs down.
You're not going to tell anybody you heard this, are you? Slander her.
You're so-called journalists.
I'm
You
not
were
kink
listening to our
shaming.
group chat. We're going to slander you. Do you want to read this one?
Great call. Powerful start, guys.
Wait. So sorry. Were you just listening to us?
No.
You just you just listen. You listen to what we were just saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
why
it's
were we
just the
doing
same
that?
joke over and over.
You guys
again.
asked me to.
Because we invited you into the
No,
our
Frosty,
chat?
they like it.
But why were you listening?
Because I was invited.
Yeah, but like, why were you listening?
Because I was invited.
Do you think this was like a secure chat we were having?
It was a trap,
Possibly not,
guys.
but I didn't give no information outside of something secure, right? So good.
Frosty pays for his
So
own membership.
what's your profession?
I'm a firefighter.
You're a deceitful so-called firefighter.
No, not so much.
We're slandering you.
I get that.
So we're trying to get Pete Hegseth off the hook here. He accidentally texted attack plans to a group chat that had a journalist on it.
I wanted to see him
civilian.
talk to
Is
Trump
there
supporters.
Any good excuse
I'm
for it?
disappointed in this video.
Shit.
I wanted to
Sounds
see
like
him
it
talk
was
to Trump supporters.
just actually a pretty
This
big
is sad.
mistake and something that
They're
should
all
not
hiding
have
now.
happened, is what we're learning here today.
God damn it. It was funny anyways, but I wanted to see them talk to Trump supporters. There's no good Trump supporter interviews anymore because all the Trump supporters are fucking hiding because they know everybody fucking hates them now. Like, fucking people in my neighborhood have literally fucking, like, changed out their flags, right? Like, now they just got an American flag outside. I'm like, motherfucker, I know who you are. I saw that shit. God damn it. There's no more good Trump supporter interviews anymore. Frosty, provide me with the evidence. I need to see this evidence that you have. And if I Google that shit and it comes up on fucking X, dog, if I go and look that shit up on X and you are just regurgitating some shit Elon Musk said, I'm gonna ban you myself. Banned member. Okay, all right, hold on. Let's talk about Trump monitoring our fucking social media. Let's talk about Trump monitoring our social media, because this is the last few times you guys are going to probably get to talk to me after they find all the memes that I've shared making fun of Trump, Pete Hegseth, fucking Elon Musk, every one of these people. Look, there is a fucking mountain of evidence that I have clowned these motherfuckers into fucking eternity, okay? It's not even going to be even if I actually end up getting due process, okay, even if, which is a fucking legit concern nowadays, whether or not you're actually going to get due process, even if I do get put on trial, there's a lot of evidence, guys. And I'm going to be honest with you, when they start bringing up those tweets, those Facebook memes during the trial, and they're like, is this your meme? I'm going to have to look at it, which means I'm going to laugh. I'm going to look at that shit and be like, no, that's not me, dog. Like the one with Elon crying and it says, y'all had a group chat? I'm gonna be like, whoever posted that, good taste. That's a funny ass meme though. You gotta admit, like that's funny shit right there. Okay. Or that MAGA one with the fucking caveman with the Make America Great Again hat on. And it's like when your cult leader tells you that you're supposed to like electric vehicles after you've hated them your entire life. Confused unga bunga. That shit pops up. I'm gonna be like, they did hate EVs though. I mean, even though I get what you're saying that's against the law now, I just wanted to point out that is a factual meme that has true information. That's actually really what happened. I just want to throw that out there for you guys. Okay, I'm going to jail. All right, El Salvador. All right, cool. Anyways, I don't have any tattoos, but probably have an autism awareness one. Probably get me sent over there. God damn it. All right, let's watch the social media one. Let's watch Donald Trump fucking hate watching my Facebook.
Donald Trump's new plan is so Orwellian, and this time Orwellian is the right term. It is hard to believe that it is not a parody. Trump has announced a terrifying assault on
$20. 5-alarm fire. Thank you so much, 5-alarm. You just need to say all of your social media accounts were hacked. Holy shit, that's the best $20 that ever been spent, 5-alarm. Okay, hold on. How do I delete this text? Trent! I got two of my favorite trolls are here. I fucking love you guys. 5-alarm, how do we delete this? 5-alarm, can you send that to me in Signal? I'm gonna have to delete this video afterwards. It's gonna get deleted just like the video I made of Donald Trump sucking Elon Musk's toes. We can't. Is it the best $20 ever spent? Because now I have a verifiable defense that has been used by the President of the United States before. So you know that's dope. That's a good defense. Good job. Good looking out is what we like to say. Good looking out. But now also I'm gonna need to figure out a way to wipe that clean, or as Frosty said, bleach my server. Gonna bleach my server. They don't know what the fuck that means. They have no fucking idea about any of the actual details of the Hillary email scandal. Zero fucking idea. Not a single fucking one of them has ever read the Mueller report when it comes to the fucking, what they call the witch hunt and collusion. They don't know any of the details of that. They don't know any of the details of the fucking Hillary Clinton email scandal. They just know that they've been told this shit's bad. That's it. That's it. It's George Soros, Trent. 5-alarm fire is actually George Soros. And now I am actually being paid by George Soros. Clip that shit. All right. Thank you, 5 Alarm. I appreciate you. And also, I'm going to probably have to use that defense at one point or another. So hope you guys are there. Hope you guys are actually on the jury, because I'm going to need you guys. All right, let's get back to this.
On free speech. The government wants to read your social media, not if you're applying to come to the country, but if you're already here legally. This is not just surveillance. This is a political weapon, and it is happening right now. So here's the latest stunning move.
Okay, so I'm gonna just from this point on gonna be this is actually a warning. This is a heads up to anybody currently on my social media. I am just gonna start sharing dick pics from this point on. That's it. Pictures of my balls, just proof of my gingerness. I'm going to there's gonna be nothing but sexual shit all over my damn social media. I mean, if they're gonna monitor my social media, they're gonna have to see my wrinkly ass old bald ginger ball sack. That's what's gonna have to happen. Marcy $4.99. Thank you so much, Marcy. Fucking Frosty. Frosty just pays so that way I have to say this shit on stream. $5. Thank you, Frosty. David Hackman is so disingenuous. I'm going to read it in the Trump voice for you. Okay, Frosty. David Hackman, so disingenuous. Big ups, dog. Keep up the work. It only helps MAGA. I do know about Hillary's WikiLeaks files. Dude, you don't know anything about any of those. You can't fucking, you have the memory of a gnat and the penis to match. You have the memory of a gnat and the penis to match. Okay, sir? And check this out. I've said this before, and you know that since watching this. I'm not the person here to convert MAGA. I'm here to make fun of MAGA, and I will continue to make fun of MAGA my whole fucking life, because you guys are the fucking easiest target that I've ever had to make fun of in my entire life, ever. You and fucking Governor Hot Wheels, all right? Roll up, bitch. Thank you for the $5, Frosty. Oh, wait, here, I gotta give you a... Okay, there you go. There you go. Had to make sure to like it, all right? Not gonna let your $5 go to waste. I'd love to see Frosty debate David Pakman.
Pushing
I'd pay $5
is a new
for
policy that would force immigrants who are already here legally in the United States. We're talking about people applying for green cards, seeking asylum, people here legally, to hand over their social media accounts to be scrutinized by Trump's administration. So this is not about border control. This is about punishing dissent. It's the reason I wouldn't go to North Korea or Russia. Now, I know it's plausible that if I went to Russia, I'd be fine. North Korea, I'm not so sure. But my more than a decade of posting and talking about certain regimes makes me cautious about stepping into North Korea or Russia for fear that it might be weaponized against me. That's something many of us say, yes, it happens in North Korea. Yes, it happens in Russia. But what Trump is saying is that it's going to start happening here in the United States. Now, if you ask Trump's team about it, they say, oh, this is all for national security purposes. They cite an executive order called Protecting the United States from...
It's all for national security, guys. It's all for national security. Don't worry, guys. Why are you guys asking questions? We're using the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952. It just so happens to coincide with the time where Joseph McCarthy, who taught Roy Cohn, who taught Donald Trump, who taught Roger Stone. It just so happens to coincide, guys. You guys are crazy. You guys think it's way different than what it is. We just want to see your funny memes, guys. That's all. That's it. We're not gonna do anything that's bad for this country. It's all for national security, guys. You wanna know the funny thing is though? You motherfuckers have probably shared a couple things, Frosty, Trent. Both of y'all probably shared at least one or two things that fucking Donald Trump sees, and Donald Trump's like, I don't like that shit. You're gonna be in the gulag right next to me. You guys gonna be sitting in there. They're gonna open that fucking cell door, and you're gonna walk in, and I'm gonna go, ah! I'll probably die laughing right there. That'll be it. That's the end. I'm just going to be like, fucking, it's over. I'm going to have like I'm an old man heart attack at that point when you walk through the door and I fucking die laughing. Because your ass is going to get... Everybody thought during the Red Scare, it won't happen to me. It won't happen to me. Yeah, it's going to happen to you too.
From foreign terrorists. But practically speaking, it is a digital dragnet. It's pulling in tweets and excretions from X, posts, profiles of people who have already passed a background check, who've followed the law. And it's important to remind ourselves that this is not new in terms of the hostility to free speech when it's inconvenient.
Always.
When I have said before,
Biggest
believe
hypocrites in the
people when
world.
they tell you what they're going to do. Maybe
We're
they'll fail to do it,
free
but
speech
believe them when they
absolutionists.
say this is what I'm going to try to do. Our friend Luke Beasley posted a video today in response to Trump's crackdown on free speech. Does this track record from Trump? Remember
here we
these
go.
clips? Does this sound like a guy
in
who
his
respects
own
free
words.
speech?
Let's hear it.
Not to me, but you tell me.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. MSNBC, which is a threat to democracy, actually. CNN and MSDNC, they're really corrupt and they're illegal. Criminals back there, the press, look at them, look how many of them. And these newspapers are really no different than a highly paid political operative. It has to be illegal.
I'm not going to reach back and grab the book again, but at this point, it's actually becoming just amazingly redundant how often I have to refer to the Red Scare. This is exactly what Joseph McCarthy did. McCarthy would insult reporters. McCarthy would have his own favorite special reporters. McCarthy would insult newspapers. McCarthy attacked the Voice of America just like Donald Trump does, which is fucking ridiculous considering that the Voice of America doesn't even broadcast within America. It broadcasts to foreign nations. It doesn't broadcast. It has like an actual doctrine, like we used to have the fairness doctrine back in the day before people like Donald Trump ruined our society. The Voice of America actually still operates under that doctrine and still fucking has to tell the truth, can't fucking report biased shit, just like says what happened. You see, Donald Trump thinks somebody saying Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felonies is biased. But the reality is, and this is going to be a real hard one for the Trump supporters to take, is Donald Trump is a 34-time convicted felon. He was found to be a sexual abuser in a civil case, and that's not. Those are actually just what happened. And when something like Voice of America reports something like that, they are operating well within their means. I mean, these are also the same people that want to get rid of PBS because Sesame Street. Later, Scott. Saw ya. Later. Yep. No, Frosty. The Democrats lost their mind in 2016 and destroyed our society. I like that. I like when you guys make statements. Oh, God, I love it. I love that you make statements because it's like you have so much confidence. So much confidence behind arguments that you can't even back up. If we wanted to get into a discussion of where American society is today without being incredibly reductive, we would need to go back to the Red Scare or potentially even further than that. But we could go back to the Red Scare and we could start there with the McCarthy trials and we could start with the death of honesty and the death of facts. We could talk about how Roy Cohn, after the Army trials, had a huge chip on his shoulder and went to New York and met a young man named Donald Trump and helped him get his building built and had connections to the mafia. We can talk about how Roy Cohn was the person who taught Roger Stone, who was Donald Trump's personal lawyer, and how all of this goes back to the 90s when we had Donald Trump, who was connected to Vince McMahon, who ran a fucking WWE corporation that was known for assaulting women and children, by the way. The Ring Boy scandal. If you don't know what that is, you should look that up. Best friends, Vince McMahon, Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, he only knows the best people. We could start there. We can make our way all the way through the Trumpian Jerry Springer era. We could make our way through the Oprah era as well. Once again, Donald Trump, a central factor in that. We could keep going. I could just keep fucking adding in things that Donald Trump was a part of that has led to the dumbing down of our society, the WWEing of our fucking political spectrum. The fact that Donald Trump is always some figure in every one of these stories is kind of, in my opinion, a bit of a fucking red flag. But yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Frosty. 2016. Yeah, that was the beginning of the downfall of society. That's the most reductive fucking thing I've ever heard in my life, and I hear reductivism all day long. All day long.
To get me, somebody would have to
Frosty's
shoot
my
through
troll.
the fake news, and I don't mind that so much.
MSNBC is, I think, probably worse, and they're both doing horribly in the
Like I
ratings.
said, this
I
is
think
all
they're going
Red
to be
Scare.
turned off.
Who are you
This
with?
is
Who
all
are you
Red
with?
Scare.
No wonder.
Democrats do not
That's
control
all right.
90%,
NBC.
5%
I don't want
of
to talk to NBC anymore. I think you're so discredited.
Once
Are
again,
you
you're making up
patriotic?
statistics.
Because what is being patriotic if not the First Amendment?
Right. And so can we really be shocked that they are doing this now?
Yeah, let's talk about free speech. Let's talk about Mahmoud Khalil, and let's talk about that girl from Tufts University. Neither one of them broke a single law. Both of them were law-abiding citizens here on law-abiding immigrants here on visas. They were meeting all of the rules. All that girl from the Tufts College did, the university, was write an article. And whether or not I agree or disagree with her point of view on the Israel-Hamas conflict, I 100% stand with her ability to speak up and say those things. Just like when you dipshits would come on here and be like, look, I'm not racist, but like people saying racist shit, that's protected under the First Amendment. And I was like, no, you're right. I'm consistent. You see, when I say that I believe in free speech, I actually believe in free speech. Therefore, yes, if you want to say something racist, well, I do have, the right to punch you in the face. And if I want to do the 1 to 2 years in a fucking in the prison system or a county jail, whatever, that's my decision to make. But yeah, you have the right to say it. I also have the right to fucking double leg you and then ground and pound you. So that's, hey, those are the repercussions of our actions, right? But at the same time, if you want to take somebody like a protester that says either something that you disagree with or I disagree with, and then you're like, well, them being nabbed off the street and then being either detained in Louisiana or potentially deported afterwards, and you're like, I'm totally an absolute free speech absolutist. No, you're a moron, and you're hypocritical, and you're not consistent, and you're part of MAGA, because MAGA is inconsistent. MAGA are morons. I mean that in the definitive way. I'm not even using a pejorative, okay? You're low IQ. You're reductive. You have no ability to reason out your own arguments. You have no evidence, no facts, no statistics to back them up. And at the end of the day, even the shit that you guys say that is like complete bullshit, like you're not even consistent on that. Like, you guys hate electric vehicles. Now you're like, fucking Elon Musk is the best, bro. Fucking EVs are stupid. Oh, wait, what? Elon's going to give somebody $1 million? Actually, EVs are cool, bro. Because you guys are mean to Elon. Yeah, you're not even consistent in your own bullshit.
Now, of course, civil rights groups are sounding the alarm, warning that this would be extraordinarily chilling when it comes to free expression. Public comments submitted to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services are saying that this is a violation of the First Amendment, and they're not wrong.
Doesn't matter.
This is about intimidation. This is not about security.
You're doing the mental gymnastics.
And this is also not happening in isolation, because at the same time, we are hearing that the IRS is reportedly preparing to share private tax data with
Appreciate you.
ICE
Thanks for the
to try to track certain people down. This is all an unprecedented breach of taxpayer privacy. So the Trump administration isn't just going after undocumented immigrants anymore. It's going after legal residents. It's going after visa holders, green card applicants, people who live here and work here and pay taxes here. And they are being told, if you want to stay in this country.
All of the things he just said. Trent says, y'all loved Elon until you found out he was right-wing. Nope, that's not true, actually. If we're, once again, speaking honestly, up until the point that Elon started doing shit in the election, I wouldn't exactly defend his support of Trump, but I definitely was like, whatever. He's bought Twitter and turned it into a shithole. Like, I thought he was just fucking dumb. I didn't fucking think that he was going to do all the shit that he's done. Saying that lefties even loved Elon before this. My own friend, who's a fucking super liberal person, much more liberal than I am even, like, literally during a disc golf game, called him a fucking idiot like 5 years ago. I actually defended Elon and was like, no, he's really, really smart. I saw this interview on Joe Rogan, and he was like, you're an idiot too if you think that Elon is a smart person. So once again, like I said, I'm consistent. I'm always consistent. If you're here as a guest and not a citizen, if you support terrorist organizations, goodbye. See, then you don't believe in the First Amendment, Trent. I'm glad to hear you honestly say your opinion that you do not believe in the First Amendment, because people here on a visa have the same civil liberties as citizens do. That is the way it's always been, and when this is all said and done and the judiciary slaps Donald Trump in his orange-ass mouth, it's going to be the way it is for the rest of the time as well. You can't say that you're pro-First Amendment and then say that people protesting, first of all, you can't even say, prove to me that that girl at Tufts was supporting terrorists. Trent, prove to me that, tell me what she said in support of terrorism. Tell me what specifically, quote her, she said in support of terrorism.
We get access to your social media, and that means all of it. This is not about protecting the country. This is about silencing critics. It's about weaponizing immigration policy to suppress political speech. So the
you can
war
do the
on
gymnastics
immigrants
all you want.
is
We
no
all
longer
know what he's doing.
just about walls and deportations. It now includes surveillance and censorship and fear. And the worst part is that if this policy succeeds, it's not going to stop with immigrants. And the natural next step, and I really don't, I'm doing everything I can not to be hyperbolic.
Ah, dude,
And
he said it.
I don't
Hyperbolics is like
skip right
Sesame
to
Street
the
today.
end. But if we're told this is going to be everything we're doing will be about so-called criminal illegals, people who are here illegally, but they've done more. They are accused of a serious crime, have been convicted.
Yes.
That's where it started. Then it went to, well, we're going to go beyond that.
And actually, even that, he's wrong about that, because they had a study done about all of the people that were deported at the very beginning, the first like 35,000 that they actually like were rounding up. Over 50% of all of those people either didn't have a criminal record or were stopped for like a traffic violation. So they had like running stop signs or speeding or I don't know, what's another traffic violation? Jaywalking, I guess. But over 50% of the people that were deported out of the first like 35,000 were not criminals, weren't even criminals, did not have a criminal record. The people that were rounded up in the El Salvador thing, the supposed gang members, the 200 gang members that were the gang members. I'm going to do this every fucking time because they don't know that they're gang members that were sent over to El Salvador. Most of those people that are coming out and talking about it, the people that are being interviewed are saying like, my husband wasn't even in the gang. The one guy had a fucking autism awareness tattoo. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how fucking, you're just saying, I don't like these types of people, so we should deport them. You're not actually using any of the actual reasons that you even said you were going to. So actually, I disagree with David on that.
It's just going to be anybody who's here undocumented. And then it's going to go.
Honest opinion, do you think the threat of martial law is an actual thing or just propaganda? So when you look at like the way that things are progressing, the potential of it leading to a type of martial law like statute or whatever, yeah, I mean, it could. Because, for instance, like the Tesla stuff, right? If they start saying Tesla, people burning the Teslas, right? The thing where the people are burning the Teslas. If people setting fire to Teslas is considered domestic terrorism, if he claims that immigration is an invasion and it's coming across the border, when you hear the things that he's saying, it sounds very much like they're attempting to set up something where they could, in fact, institute martial law. Now, the question there is, and this is why I say all of us are super important in this, right? Because the more people that are speaking up, the louder the people are, the more there's protests, the more there's activism, the less likely that you could have something like martial law happen, because it's going to be judged upon the fact of like, how much pushback, how much fight do the American people have in them, right? Because if you're just going to buckle and you're just going to allow this administration to run roughshod over you, then eventually, yeah, they're going to lead you down that fucking cattle trough to the slaughterhouse and just be like, yeah, so now we've got all the reasons, we've got enough of the society that's either quiet or enough that agrees with us that we can do something like instituting martial law. It's the same reason you have Donald Trump with the rhetoric with Greenland, right? So like people will ask, like, do you think that he's actually going to invade Greenland, right? Well, most likely the outcome would not be an invasion, right? Most likely that would be only something that happens if the American people are quiet. If the American people either don't speak up against an invasion of Greenland, or if they just chose to, capitulate and just say he's the president of the United States. Eventually, Donald Trump would probably do something like that if he didn't get his way with Greenland. Everybody keeps saying this. Oh, well, it's just a joke. He's just saying that he's going to run for third term to get you guys gassed up. Oh, it's just a joke, blah, 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 all that stuff. Donald Trump has shown over and over and over and over again that he will say something into the air. One guy called it rolling live grenades into a crowd, that Donald Trump likes to roll grenades into crowds and see what happens. And he said most of the time they're dead grenades that never go off, and occasionally one goes off and a lot of people get hurt. So when you have people that say, oh, he's not going to run for a third term, or you have people that say, oh, he'll never institute martial law, or people that say, oh, he'd never actually invade Greenland, all of those people, what those people need to understand is it's the percentage chance of someone letting him do it that affects whether or not he does it. So if Donald Trump could get away with instituting martial law, he 100% will do it. If the judiciary doesn't stand up against him, he will 100% do it. If Congress backs down and is quiet and is not out there doing what AOC is doing, what Bernie Sanders is doing, what Jasmine Crockett is doing, he will do it. If American people aren't doing their part and being out protesting and fucking, calling out all this bullshit, he will do it. That's why I keep saying it. Every one of us, all of us that are doing this, are incredibly important to keeping these things from happening, because if he is allowed to do it, he will do it. If he's allowed to run for a third term, he'll run for a third term. That's fucking 100% going to happen. 5 Alarm Fire, 10 memberships. Thank you. Thank you, 5 Alarm Fire. Just don't give Frosty another one. The video stopped is awesome. What up, 5 Eggs? What's going on? Thank you, 5 Alarm Fire. I appreciate you so much. The Angry Ginger Army grows by the day. By the day. This is the way we stop fucking, look, I understand the people that are like saying things, talking isn't enough. I get that. I completely understand that. But if there's an escalation, when that happens, it will happen and you will need to respond. Where we are at now is we need AOC and Bernie going around the country convincing places where Republicans barely won that they need to speak up or else bad shit's going to happen. We need people, our content creators, speaking up and explaining, like, yeah, you do have the chance to stop something like martial law from happening just by being up and in everybody's face and saying, we've got to be loud and we've got to make sure that these motherfuckers know that we will not go quietly into the night. Like, I get the people that get upset and say, we have to go out there and we have to boots on the ground and we have to stop these people physically. But there has to be an escalation to that. And if there was martial law, I think you would find that many people would be willing to go out on that street and do something about it. Because like I said, when you think as a Republican, when you think as a conservative, when you think as even MAGA, that you're not going to be affected by this martial law, well, take a look at all the shit that all these MAGA supporters have already felt from their vote. If you think as a MAGA supporter, you're going to be immune to the justice of martial law. I've got a fucking surprise for you, buddy. You ain't gonna be able to walk around fucking just. Everybody knows I'm MAGA, so I'm not gonna get the stray. I'm not gonna catch a stray. They all know I'm MAGA. Donald Trump don't know who you are. Elon Musk doesn't know who you are. That's why they fired tons of MAGA supporters, tons of Trump supporters, tons of veterans that voted for him. Why? Because they don't know who you are, and they don't give a fuck who you are. They don't care. They'd rather shit on you, spit on you, piss on you, than ever know your fucking name. They don't care about you. You can show me all the videos you want of Trump shaking hands with people in crowds. Oh, he's a man of the people. No, he's a fucking reality TV show president that knows a good fucking camera moment when it comes along. He'll shake your hand, and then he'll go right up in his ivory tower, and he'll fire you, your wife, your friends, and he don't give a fuck that you voted for him. You know, fuck around and find out for reals. 21st century suffragettes. What's happening? Like I said, this is Red Scare shit, man. People that thought that they were immune.
What if you're here but on a green card or legally on a visa and awaiting a status change that you've applied for? Now it's expanding to that. The natural progression is that the social media surveillance and crackdowns go beyond that. And the natural next step is going to be non-immigrants, just natural-born
10 years
Americans.
Now.
Not trying to be hyperbolic, but trying to be realistic.
Dog.
It continues expanding.
I ain't falling for that
Why
shit.
wouldn't we fear that it will expand further?
You're using fear.
Let me know what you expect.
That's all you guys do is use fear.
davidpakman.com.
It's your whole fucking shtick.
Let's take a quick break. So much to talk about today. After researching,
David
writing,
Pakman is fucking
refining
turtlenecks, dude. My main criticism of David Pakman is his fucking turtlenecks. Can't hate. Man's got better fashion than I do. I'm only mad because his fashion is better than my fashion. I'll be honest with you guys. Just like Brian Tyler Cohen, he had them snappy ass suits he'd wear. That also made me really sad. But I didn't ever get mad and make fun of Brian Tyler Cohen, so that was my bad. Let's see, where are we at? I like all the people pushing back tonight. I like that. I like how you guys are making me fucking actually talk and actually get into some of this shit. Let's watch this wisecrack video. I got a little bit of time left, and I like the wisecrack videos, so let's watch this wisecrack.
Donald Trump is the most Christian.
Oh God, is he about to say Donald Trump is the most Christian president of all time? God, don't say it, wisecrack. I don't think I can deal with that level of dishonesty right now. Trent, tell me do you think Donald Trump's a Christian? Trent, actually, you know what? I'm having a flip-flop moment. Overall, Christianity has. I mean, I've known a lot of good people that are religious, but I've also known a lot of fucked up people that are religious. It's 50-50. But what I can say is he is not a person that goes to church. Donald Trump's the kind of guy that he's the type of dude that prays before a lawsuit, right? He probably prays before a lawsuit, but that's about it, right? You did this last time Trump was in office. The world is ending. No. So let's point out the difference between 2017 and 2025. So I, as well, Trent, during 2017, was the person that went around to all of my friends. I work with lots of liberals, lots of Democrats. And I would even say I wasn't even very political. I didn't vote in the Trump Hillary election because I was a dumbass and I had never thought it was important. I thought during the Obama era that he was going to win no matter what, so I didn't vote for Obama. I was just like, whatever, he's going to win. I have all the same tendencies that many dumbass people had. I grew up in a trailer park. I have, flaws to my own mentalities. So I didn't vote for Hillary because I fell for the whole fucking her emails bullshit. This is why I tell you guys are full of shit, because I've actually gone and looked at all of this shit. I've always said to myself that if I'm going to talk about things, then I should know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I mean when I'm talking about to people, not like to my friends, right? So when I started getting involved with politics, I recognized that I had some like glaring holes in what I knew and didn't know. So one of the first things I started looking into was the Hillary shit, because I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote for Trump. I just said, fuck it. I don't care. This is just shitty that we have to choose between these people. So once I recognized what was going on in Trump during his 2017 through 21 era and saw, for the most part, like I said, we're going to compare those two eras. I said to myself, like, oh, like this guy obviously is just a reality TV show guy. He's not very smart. He's very low IQ. None of his ideas are very good. He's fucking living off of Obama's economy. He makes claims that don't make any fucking sense. He continues to like make our foreign allies hate us and calls people's countries shithole countries. Like, I was like, I mean, it was comedy fucking gold for sure. Like that whole 4 years was comedy gold. But during that time, I had to say to myself, I was like, hold on. Okay, how much do you actually know about Hillary Clinton? And how do you know that she would have been a worse president than Donald Trump? So that's when I went through and I looked at all the email shit. I looked through I read the Mueller report. I looked through all that shit. I even went through the Durham report after, right? And I recognized, okay, like I was full of shit. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about when it came to Hillary Clinton. I was making claims that I had no factual evidence to back up. I still am not like a huge Hillary Clinton fan, but you know, I think that's mostly because she represents more of like the establishment Democrat shit that we're seeing nowadays. It's kind of like detracting from a movement that could potentially like be good for America. So, you know, but I had to give her flowers. I was like, fucking, actually, I was wrong. And she would have been a better president than Donald Trump ever was. But during that era, I was going around to all the liberal Democrat people that I knew, and I said, hey, look, I know that this guy is a fucking idiot. By that time, I had fucking been like, yeah, this guy is dumb. Actually, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. He's stupid. And I said to all of them, I was like, yeah, but at the same time, guys, look, he comes out, he says dumb shit. Yes, he fucks up how the rest of the world looks at us. 100%. I get all that shit. But for the most part, he's not doing anything that bad, right? And the reason that he wasn't doing anything that bad at that time was because, A, he wasn't a president. And I kept saying this over and over again. He wasn't a president. He just wanted to fucking go out and make speeches. He wanted to hold rallies. He wanted to say fucking like, you know, the economy's so good and it's all because of me. Gas prices are so good and it's all because of me. And even at the end, when he said that he wanted to do the Operation Warp Speed stuff with COVID, even though his dumbass was fucking being super hypocritical behind the scenes and saying that COVID was real and then telling people it wasn't because he has a fucking gigantic narcissistic ego. Even with all that being said, I looked into Operation Warp Speed and I said to myself, okay, look, Donald Trump's president of the United States. You think he's a moron, but you also believe that vaccines work. That's a conflict. Can you have those two ideas and still come out of this with the best solution possible? So once again, I said to myself, I'm not going to judge this on Donald Trump. I'm going to judge this based on what's going on. So I looked into all the shit with mRNA vaccines and how long they've been studied. I looked into like exactly like how it fucking gets into your cells and produces the proteins. I looked into the general that was running the fucking Operation Warp Speed. I looked at Donald Trump's plan for Operation Warp Speed and the incentivization of the companies to create competition between these big pharmaceutical companies to get them to produce a vaccine at a much faster pace. It wasn't the only time that this has happened, by the way. We have produced a vaccine in, I think, a year before. But I was like, you know what? I think Donald Trump's a moron, but at the end of the day, actually, these people who are in charge of Operation Warp Speed seem to know what the fuck they're doing. I'm going to take the vaccine. That has, if you're saying, Trent, that I was saying to all these people that his original presidency was anything close to what it is today, you're wrong. Because it's not even comparable, because the people that he involved, people like General Mattis, who I fucking love, people like Mark Milley, which I'm not a huge fan of, but, you know, he's a respectable military guy. And, you know, I don't know enough about, like, you know, his background as a general to speak on his military service. But seems like he at least he had a good head on his shoulders, because he said, we do not swear our oath to the president of the United States. We swear our oath to the United States. He had people like Mike Pence that God only knows none of us thought that we would ever owe Mike Pence a debt. But Mike Pence was obviously very much actually a constitutionalist, right? He looked at it. He called Al Gore, or who did he call? It wasn't Al Gore. Who was the vice president he called? God damn it. He called the vice president the night before January 6th and asked him if he had those powers to do what Donald Trump wanted him to do, and that person told him, don't fucking do this. That's a bad fucking idea. Was it Bush's vice president? Anyways, the difference between then and now was that Donald Trump had guardrails. Donald Trump had people around him. Conservatives had not bought into the fear. They had not, they said to themselves, like, at the end of the day, if Donald Trump does these things and then he loses the election, none of us may ever get elected again. And so they made sure that Donald Trump couldn't do damage. Donald Trump, at the same time, not motivated really to do anything at all, because he just wants to be known as a president. And he doesn't fucking care about actually like getting anything done. He just wants credit for like low gas prices, credit for the economy, credit for the housing situation, which every single one of those things was created by Obama. And I can prove that with facts, statistics, and evidence. I can show you charts. I can show you critical control points in which Donald Trump didn't do anything and he just coasted off of Obama's fucking economy. Now, when we get into this presidency, and what we're seeing now is we can see that Donald Trump has obviously been fucking bought off by tech oligarchs that previously had bought into the Obama administration. So don't come at me with that fucking like, oh, you're just fucking fear-mongering because it's Donald Trump. I've said this a million fucking times. Donald Trump is a fat orange clown that has no actual bearing on where this country goes, other than the stupid shit that he's going to do that's going to cause problems with our foreign adversaries. The real fucking problem right now in our country are billionaire tech oligarchs that got into the pockets of Barack Obama during his presidency. And now, after, for whatever reason, Joe Biden shitting on them in his presidency and Donald Trump shitting on them in his original presidency, now have found a way into Donald Trump's good graces by stuffing dollar bills into his pocket. The real people that every single person in this fucking country should be ultimately scared of are people like Curtis Yarvin, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk. Those are the people. J.D. Vance, Stephen Miller. Those are the people that, like I said, even for you, Trent, you can sit here and defend the fucking orange clown all you want, dog. They don't care about you. Donald Trump don't care about you. And when this is all said and done, and Donald Trump rides off into the sunset, he's going to turn over the keys to the White House to the tech billionaires that don't give two fucks about you at all. They don't care that you voted for Trump. They don't care that you're a person. All they care about is that fucking at the end of the day, you can go to their factories, build their shit for them, and you can shut the fuck up, go home, and let them do what they want to do with the United States of America. And you're not going to have a single fucking ally to back you up because you've isolated yourselves as a country from everybody that would have helped you. That's the difference between 2017 and 2025, is now Donald Trump is allowing these billionaires to fucking burn down this country. Anything good under Trump is due to Obama, and anything bad under Trump is Trump's fault. No. Trent, tell me 3 things that Biden did that was good. You want to play the fucking game, Trent? You know you can't play this game with me. You know you can't play this game with me. I'll tell you 3 fucking things right now that Donald Trump did accomplish under his presidency. You tell me 3 things that Joe Biden did that were good, and I'll tell you 3 things that Donald Trump did. You want to play that game? We can play that game. You know I'm going to fucking work you on this.
Donald Trump is the most Christian president in American history.
Sorry, Midas. Sorry.
work with me here, because both times that he was
I like
elected,
working this shit through my
evangelical
head.
Christians
When
were one of
people
his most
argue with me, I get to
influential
work
and
this shit through my
supportive
head.
voting blocs. And he hasn't been shy about courting Christians.
God spared my life for a reason.
To a large extent, he's delivered on the promises that he made to his evangelical base. He helped
I actually
them grow.
agree that
He let
dropping
religious
out, but we
organizations
disagree
avoid the
on
Affordable
probably
Care
why
Act's
that's
contraception
good.
requirements. And of course, he's systematically wiping out any mention of trans folks, a favorite cudgel of many evangelicals. And to top it off, he signed an executive order declaring an end to
Yeah, and even
anti-Christian
separating
bias.
transgender
Because of
people
course,
from the
when
gay
you think of
people.
the most
On
persecuted
purpose.
religious
They're
group
creating a
in the
new
U.S.,
divide.
evangelical Christians really leap to mind. Now, Trump and Christianity have always seemed like an odd partnership.
This is my favorite one.
Probably equal.
Jesus constantly talked about loving your enemies, supporting...
Dude, I wish you would have played the full clip. That's my favorite fucking clip. What is your favorite saying from the Bible? I've got a lot of them. Almost all of them, to be honest with you. They're all really good. They're all really good. So no favorite quote from the Bible? No, they're all really good. Oh, are you a New Testament guy or an Old Testament guy? Both. Actually, both. It's my favorite book. Actually, my second favorite book, because my first favorite book is The Art of the Deal. Trent, you only got one. You stopped at one.
The
Are you
least of these
Googling this
living
shit
in a
right
way
now?
filled with
You're
love.
probably
Sell all
Googling
your
this shit.
belongings and give the money to the poor.
Mr. Trump, his hobby of extramarital affairs and shady business deals doesn't exactly scream Christian values.
Is she your wife? You know what?
Hold on.
I would say
5 Alarm Fire, thank you for the $10. By the way, my wife is spending the same amount that I've donated to AG on things she wants. My wife as well is also spending the same amount that you've donated on things that she wants as well. 5 Alarm. So you already lose, Trent. You can't think of another thing, but I can sit up here for fucking days telling you about Biden's presidency. We can talk about the Infrastructure Act. We can talk about the Chips and Science Act. We can talk about bipartisan gun legislation that was the best as far as helping with the mental health of children in our schools in the last 30 years. We can talk about the PACT Act that fucking helped out our veterans. We can talk about so many different fucking things from Joe Biden's presidency that is bipartisan, fucking good for America. Like, you can't possibly fucking tell me that you don't think bringing back semiconductor production to America is a good thing. There's no fucking way. No fucking way. But just to prove to you that I can do what I said I was going to do, because I'll just give you 3 real quick. First of all, Operation Warp Speed was good. It's too bad that he did what he did with flip-flopping and caused his own legacy to be tarnished when he actually did something really fucking good with Operation Warp Speed. 2, I actually enjoyed the fact that he funded NASA for the first time in a really long time, something that the left has been against for a really fucking long time because they believe that taking care of people here on Earth is more important than space exploration, which I disagree with them on because of the fact that I say you get so many advances from space exploration that it actually ends up being super beneficial to the people here on Earth, specifically when you're talking about food deficiencies because of changes in irrigation technology and stuff like that. So that was the second thing. On the third thing, I also thought his First Step Act was also really good because whenever you have mandatory minimum sentencing for certain drug offenses, which he's completely flip-flopped on, by the way, now I shouldn't even give him this one, but I'm going to. When you give mandatory minimum sentences for certain drug charges, those people get put in population with actual real violent criminals and become worse criminals. That's why I've always been for rehabilitation. That's why I also supported Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris created an actual program where she was putting criminals that were nonviolent offenders into, I shouldn't make air quotes for that, they actually are nonviolent offenders, into rehabilitation programs. And that fucking program was so fucking successful that there are states across the nation, including red states, that implement that rehabilitation program that Kamala Harris made popular. So there's my 3. Now, if you want to do the other side of it, and say something bad, I can also do that as well. But you didn't even get the first part. But see, this is what I'm saying, Trent, is you say, I agree bringing semiconductor production to America is a good thing. But you won't say Joe Biden did it because you don't know anything about Joe Biden's actual presidency. You only know you dislike Joe Biden. I say this over and over and over again on this show. I want to wake up every fucking day and be wrong and hear that Donald Trump has succeeded and done good things for the country. Every fucking day. And every day I wake up and I'm so fucking disappointed. Like, they have had so many chances at this point to just take W's from the fucking, the prior administration, just like they did with Obama. They could have took so many W's from Joe Biden's administration. And they just want to shoot themselves in the foot so fucking much and stop themselves that it makes me feel as though they're doing this shit on purpose. And when you look into Curtis Yarvin and you look into Peter Thiel and you look into J.D. Vance and you look into all these fucking tech billionaires and you look at their plan and you look at Project 2025, you can't help, if you have more than fucking 4 brain cells in your head, but see that there is a potential that they are indeed intentionally trying to fucking drive the economy into the fucking dirt. They are intentionally going to do things like RFK wants to fucking let the avian flu run rampant through a chicken population that does not possess the gene to fight it off. It has a 90% mortality. 90%. If 9 out of 10 egg-laying hens dies, what do you think will happen to egg prices then? This is what I'm saying, dude. I fucking love you, Trent. Appreciate you. But one of the biggest problems in this fucking society, and it doesn't matter if you're on the right, it doesn't matter if you're on the left, it doesn't matter, is everybody is so fucking reductive. And they want to take shit down into, yeah, but because of this. And the reality is there's so much more nuance, so much more complexity, so many more complicated like things that go on in this government, in this country, in this fucking world, in humanity in general, that you cannot just reduce it down to Joe Biden bad. You can't even say the economy was bad under Biden. You have to prove that it was bad. And I've said it this whole fucking time. You guys make the worst fucking arguments of all time on the right. Because you say the economy is bad. Okay, why is the economy bad? Well, because it is. No, CPI doesn't say that. No, GDP doesn't say that. The unemployment numbers doesn't say that. Inflation doesn't say that. Which part are you talking about? If you want to make a real fucking argument on the right for why you think that Joe Biden's economy was bad, you need to get into specificities. I shouldn't even try to say that word. The nuance of the fact that the lower middle class, the middle class, and the impoverished are constantly in a bad state in every fucking economy. And that's really what we should be talking about doing. That's what we should be talking about dealing with. Because rents are too high. Housing is almost impossible for young people to buy. The minimum wage and jobs in general don't pay enough money. Like, that's the argument you guys should be making. But you're so fucking brainwashed by this orange fucking clown that you're supposed to just hate Joe Biden. You're supposed to just hate this other fucking, because they're the Democrats, they're liberals, they're communists. That you can't even make the argument, the right fucking argument. Mitesh, another 20? Holy shit, Mitesh. Mitesh is just going to be the loot. You're going to be in charge of the military. Starman got one. Oz got one. Duncron got. All the good people just got. Look at Janelle. Oh, 21st century suffragettes got one too. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Mitesh. I fucking love you. I haven't seen any evidence that advanced semiconductors are being produced in America at a higher rate since the CHIPS Act, but if I see that, then I will be happy about it. No, Trent, this is the other problem with our fucking culture, is people like Trump because they think he does stuff now. Trump has signed over 100 executive orders, right? Most of those executive orders will do nothing. But 4 years from now, all the Trump supporters will be saying, Donald Trump did all these things. Even though the judicial system will have slapped them down, they will not remember that because everybody wants instant gratification. That's why people like Biden chose not to do certain things in executive actions, because they knew that that would just be fluff. It would just look like they did things. The CHIPS and Science Act was never meant to be an instant gratification bill. It's supposed to happen over the next decade. Now, mind you, if Donald Trump decides to do a bunch of dumb shit in his presidency and the next president decides to do dumb shit, you're never going to see semiconductor production back in America. But the whole point of the CHIPS and Science Act is a decade worth of work, because real things that last take time to accomplish. One of the hardest things to understand for people about semiconductor production is that the factories that build those semiconductors are at the very edge of technology. To build the best chips in the world, you must have the best factories in the world. So a lot of times people don't invest in these factories because by the time you get the factory built, it's already outdated. So the idea is to build an infrastructure of educated people. So part of the CHIPS and Science Act, the idea was to create 500,000 jobs, very high-paying jobs that could be accomplished with a high school diploma or a bachelor's degree, right? That was like the level of education you'd have to work in these high-paying jobs. But first, you need to get those people. You need to educate people in our system to be able to do those things. One of the reasons China can't invade Taiwan is because if they invade Taiwan and they shell those places, they lose those factories. If China invades and kills those people, they don't have the people to work those factories. They are very specialized employees. And then when you talk about the building of the infrastructure around those employees, you're talking about building buildings, you're talking about building equipment, you're talking about creating, like Intel is the one who creates the blueprints for all these semiconductors, and then it goes over to Taiwan, and then they create these high-end semiconductors, right? So you need to then create contracts with these companies, and you need to get them to invest in this CHIPS and Science Act. So the problem with you saying, well, if I see it happening, then great, then I'll be happy about it. But the problem with that is that Americans have the attention span of like a fucking 3-year-old. That's it. 4 years from now, 5 years from now, shit never even happened, bro. Joe Biden's full of shit. And then if you like go back and you look and you see, oh, Trump like actually squashed that because his ego's too fucking big and he wanted it to be his idea, not Joe Biden's idea, and now we're back at the beginning again, you'll never look into that. You'll never research that. You'll just go, yeah, I remember when that fucking angry ginger moron said that Joe Biden's CHIP Act was good. Yeah, he's dumb. But you'll never go back and look at that. Trump called for the end of the CHIPS Act. See, I don't even know if that's true, but if that is true, fucking, I'm already spot on and I didn't even fucking know it. What's up, Diane? Don't forget to go fucking hang out with the 21st century suffragists. Don't hang out here with me and my ranting ass tonight. Go over and hang out with those guys. Let's see. Rude. What did you say to me? Did you say something to me there, Rude? Let's see. Trump is intentionally fucking up, hurt everyone, then give help to his favorite groups. Yeah, like that's the problem is like, even if you want to act like, oh, well, it looks like, even if you want to sit here and say like, oh, okay, this is too close to conspiracy, I'm not going to believe it because it seems like you're attaching this dot to this dot to this dot to this dot, right? Eventually, 1 + 1 = 2. And when you have people like Elon Musk coming out saying, I'm going to drive the economy into the dirt. In fact, I'm going to need extra security because some of these people are probably going to want to take me out. And then they walk into the office and they drive the fucking stock market down. They screw over our alliances with our trade partners. They use tariffs as if it's like a fucking hammer to bludgeon your opponent with. You do tariffs on, tariffs off, which creates this incredible instability in the economy, and it creates this incredible instability in the stock market. You start to look at that, and you look at his previous statement, and you have to say, it does seem like this is what they're fucking doing. It does seem like somebody said to Donald Trump, do you want to go through the next 4 years of your presidency with a lackluster economy that is just skimming across the top of the recession, and you don't get to take any credit for, let's say, J.D. Vance gets elected in 2028. J.D. Vance gets the credit and you don't, or fucking Gavin Newsom gets elected and you don't get the credit for this economy that you kept out. What he sees from Joe Biden's economy is that it was constantly skimming the recession. What we did with inflation in the last year or two was fucking amazing. No economist thought that we could do it. The Fed wasn't going to cut rates. And they cut rates because we were doing something that nobody thought was fucking possible. And we were avoiding that recession. So now we're skimming across the top of it. And Donald Trump doesn't like that because it looks lackluster. He's going to have to wait for 4 years to get any kind of credit for the economy coming back. And then maybe he won't even get that credit. So instead, the plan is to fucking dive bomb the economy, find the bottom, bounce it, and then rip the bandage off. Why? Because Donald Trump then gets to take credit for the economy being better in his last 2 years because everybody has the attention span of a fucking 3-year-old. So at the end of his fucking term, if the economy's doing good, he's going to be like, look, it was great the whole time. 4 years of success. Never was bad. This is the problem. I've said it before. I don't give a fuck about Trump's being a shitty human being. I don't care about the dumb shit he said about his daughter. I don't care about his infidelity. I don't care about whether or not he's racist. Those are all character flaws that I think that a leader should not have. But I'm much more fucking concerned with the stupid fucking plans. Because those are the things that actually lead to everyday Americans being the ones that shoulder the burden. And Donald Trump is literally at this point telling you that you're going to shoulder the burden. And as a MAGA supporter, you're like, yeah, it's just what we got to go through. We gotta go through the pain. No, you don't. We're the fucking richest country in the world. We have one of the most resource-rich countries in the world. We had some of the best trade alliances in the world. We had relationships with people that fucking loved us and wanted to actually help. And we have destroyed every fucking thing that I just said in 2 months. There's no reason that we can't go through this shit and people still be taken care of. And we're choosing not to because Donald Trump don't give a fuck about you. And that's that. All right, guys. I think I spent too much time ranting. You're not going to get to this video. And like I said, guys, I know that you guys sometimes, you're like, fuck that troll, fuck this troll. I don't care. I want people to push back against me. I want people to tell me I'm wrong. I want to have to work these ideas through my head. I want to be able to speak to something and show that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because if I can't, I shouldn't fucking be up here. There's enough people on YouTube right now. There's enough people in our fucking media right now that just want to regurgitate shit to people that believe the same shit as they do. So that way they get money and success and they enrich themselves. Not up here for that. I could fucking get off tomorrow and have a wonderful fucking life. I have a beautiful family. I bought my house at the best fucking possible time you could. I have a career that I'm successful and I'm very good at. Tomorrow I could shut this down, walk away, and my life would still be good. But it's important to me, and I want to get on here, and I want to speak to things, and I want to continue to educate myself, and I want to continue to be tempered. I want people to push back. So I just want you guys to know that's what I like. So thank you to Trent. Thank you to Frosty for the content. And thank you to all of you guys that are here, that continue to come here. I want you guys to be the same. I've said this before. When you believe something, you should be able to tell people why you believe it. You shouldn't just say, I believe X. You should be able to say, I believe X because of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So I hope that my influence on you guys is to get you guys to the same place. I know a lot of you already are there. That's why you're here. But I hope that those people that aren't there, that just want to make very basic arguments as to why they dislike what's going on today, I hope that I role model for you what you should be doing. All right, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Next live stream is going to be Wednesday at 5 p.m. It is a long week for me. So I probably won't be able to hop on anybody else's show or do anything like that because Monday I have an interview with the COVID guy. We're going to talk about all the COVID statistics. We're going to talk about all the COVID conspiracy theories. I really like this guy. He's very analytical. Everything he talks about is numbers-based. You can find the research and prove that the things he believes are correct through the numbers. And then on Friday, I'm going to have the interview with the lady who's a anthropologist and specializes in Ukrainian history. And we're going to talk about not just the Ukraine war, but the history of Ukraine and why we're at where we are with it. So it's going to be a very busy week. 2 interviews, a live stream, work, family, everything else. So I probably won't make any videos. All right, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to everybody that